What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Manuel Eman Noisette. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming out today. I really do appreciate it. We have got a lot to talk about. What do we have? We've got Black Panther, little update we're gonna talk about. What else? We also have some Stranger Things. We've got a bunch of other things that we're gonna get to in just a little bit here. I don't know. All right, my bad, y'all. I got like brand new equipment, and now all of a sudden my mouse don't want to work. Weird. Happy New Year! Happy freaking New Year! Hopefully, let me get this together. All this going on, just nonsense. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're good. Make sure I got all the settings. Yes, got that. Got that. Okay, I think. Are we good? Okay. Oof, man, it is weird. Okay, I think we are good to go. There we go. Happy New Year. We are back, and we are in the building. We are going to cover a bunch of stuff here. I need to absolutely get me a new mouse because this is acting up, and I don't know why. Just when everything was supposed to be working fine. Anywho, let me see. We've got a couple of things to go through. I missed y'all. I really did. I missed y'all. I hope you guys all had a fantastic holiday break. I hope you are still enjoying it. If you're lucky enough to, but we got to see who has made it out early. We got my man Reese. What is going on? King Chad, appreciate you coming through. Blue, how you doing? William, appreciate you coming through. D. Wayne, hello. Paulette, what is up? Callow, appreciate you. Come on through. Miss Harper, thank you so much. Are you doing it with the replay game? Oh, you got to work early. Come on now. Why you got to work on the weekends? Boo. Boo. But thank you so much. Appreciate you either way. Johnny, what is up? Ray Guns, how you doing? Corey, appreciate you coming through. Mo, what is up? Treese, how you doing? My man John, how are you? Deborah, what is going on? Zia, come on through. Thank you so much. Ism, how are you? Come on, Mama J's in the building. Good to see you. 60 plus, appreciate you coming through. Amanda, hello. Rhonda, what is up? CJ, hello. My man Nelson V is here. Mitch, how you doing? Kiki West coming through. Theo, how are you? K Ron, hello. Who else did I see? Anna, good to see you. My man Mike is back. Appreciate you. Come on through. Lou, what is up? Sam K, what is going on? Mad, how are you? Tasha, hello. Sam K, how are you? Eugene, who else? I saw Lou. Who else I saw? Ray, Jesus, appreciate you. Tyra, come on through. Let's go. Kristen Pratt holding it down for the Mod Squad. Rod, how are you? IMAX, J. Let's see. Animals are cute. And B, hello. And who else? I saw one more. There we go. Brandy, shout out to everybody that has made it out tonight. I do appreciate y'all. We have got to get back into the rhythm. We got to get back into the rhythm. It's been a minute. I know I took a lot. Listen, I told y'all when I'm working for y'all, I'm working for y'all. Okay. So if you don't see me, I'm either taking a break, I'm sick, hanging with the family, or no news, or I'm working for y'all. Okay. So I'm working for y'all. So I hope you guys were able to enjoy the last couple of things I posted, the interview, obviously, with Ryan Coogler and Miles Catan, and of course, Michael B. Jordan. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, you know, that was probably one of my most fun interviews I've ever had. I was it's funny because I was on the plane and because I went to Critics Choice. We'll talk about that in a second. I was on the plane at flying back home, and I was trying to edit the video, because if you saw the video with Michael B. Jordan, you saw I made that little edit at the end with the juke joint scene, right? And it was so funny because I'm sitting on the plane on my phone. I'm trying to do this on the phone, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, bring it for the 99 and the 2000. And like people just looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, y'all don't even know. Like, I don't even care if y'all think I'm crazy. I don't care. This is going to be hilarious. I was having a good old time making this thing, trying to get the music together to sync up. I was having a blast. I don't care what anybody was thinking. But I did want to share with y'all a couple of things while I was out there. Nothing too crazy, but listen, sometimes you do have to kind of step out a little bit, and that's exactly what I did. This was in LA. That's where the Critics Choice was awards, and listen, your boy did a little, just stepped out just a little bit. Shout out to the wife for the tips and everything. But yeah, I did a little something something. Had to hit him with the pose real quick. You see the little watch? You see the watch? Watch game was up there. But listen, ran into Avon Barksdale himself, ran into the legend Wood Herrick. Come on, man. Come on. I saw my man right there. I was like, there's no way I'm about to see you sitting here and I'm not going to acknowledge you and give you your flowers. I know Adam Sandler's over there. I know, all these other top celebrities over there. I don't care. You going to get your flowers. Okay. You are going to get your flowers. So I had to make sure I gave my man some props right there because it was just too good of an opportunity right there. Y'all might remember, you might know him. I'm sure you do. Just walking by, just saw this guy just standing. I say, excuse me, Mr. Goldblum, I have to tell you something. First and foremost, thank you for all the memories. Thank you for all the, wonderful films and stuff. But the biggest thing, and I haven't told y'all this, I had to actually confront my fear. And I told him this. I was like, I grew up watching The Fly and it messed me up. It messed me up. I love the movie, but I had no business watching that movie as a little kid. It messed me up. And when I told him that, he was like, well, I'm a real person, and I was just like, thank you. So warm, so nice, so kind. This man gave all his time to everybody that wanted to just talk to him, take a picture with him. Definitely a key moment right there. So very, very happy to see him there. That was really cool. Everybody hates Chris, but he grown up now. Shout out to Tyler, because Tyler, man, I didn't expect this, but I walked up to him. I was like, wait, what's going on, brother? I had met him the year before, and I remember I was like, hey, man, didn't I see? I know we talked like last year. He was like, no, we talked the year before that. I was like, whoa, you remember me? Wow, okay, sharp brother. All right, cool, down to earth, just as everything you could hope for in a young man. Definitely promising future, of course. But yeah, that's my guy right there. Tyler is on point. But for my Alien Earth folks, I saw this, I was like, I have to talk to you. I have to talk to you, sir. I don't like you. I was so confused. I saw the cyborg I said, sir, we need to talk. Because I don't know if I like you because your performance was great, or if I hate you because your performance was great. Okay. But we had to talk. Excellent, brother. Solid, very, very cool. Was very warm and easy to talk to as well. But I had to give him his props because he did that thing. He did the thing in Alien Earth. Morrow was on point for sure. And then, of course, Noah Hawley, the showrunner, as well. I had to tell him, like, hey, man, get cracking on that season 2. Because, when can we get that season 2? He's like, listen, we got the green light. We working. It's coming. It's coming. So Noah Hawley, very cool. Also appreciated him, just kind of giving me a little bit of time and talking to me there. Who else did I talk to? Oh yeah, y'all know this brother right here. Come on down, little Benicio Del Toro. Come on, man. Listen, super cool guy, just as cool as you would ever expect. Same thing, same aura, same energy. Definitely cool guy. Really appreciated him, of course. And if you haven't seen him in one battle after another, just if it wasn't for Sean Penn, he probably was gonna steal it next. But he was right up there. Next up, just real quick, for my dairy fans, I was sitting there walking around. Again, it's all kinds of celebrities there, right? And my eyes locked in on this one girl, and I was like, dang, she looked familiar. It's not a lot of redheads in Hollywood like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that Beverly? I think that's Beverly. Yes, that is Beverly. Y'all remember her from It Chapter 1. And if you watch, the post-credit scene of Welcome to Derry, Sophia was there. Of course, she got my daughter's name. And super cool to talk to. It was so funny. It was like she was just sitting there, just chilling. Everybody I'm like, no, I recognize you. Okay, I know who you are. Very cool to talk to. I don't think, I don't think she would mind if I say this little story that she told me, because it's only a compliment to her. But if you recall, in It Chapter 2, they had the kids from the Losers Club coming back, right? But y'all know, just like in Stranger Things, them kids grow up fast, right? So she was telling me, she was like, man, they have to do all this like CGI de-aging and stuff on the kids and stuff. And I was like, dang, for real? And she was like, yeah, but when I came back for It Chapter 2, when I came back for the Welcome to Derry, I didn't need no CGI at all. I said, go ahead with your bad self. Okay, that's a solid flex right there. Listen, a lot of people can't say that. Okay, listen, I'm not going to get into the exact reasons why, but listen, a lot of people cannot sit here and say something that I shot 10 years ago, 10 years later, I still look the same and can play the same role. I was like, good for you. Good for you. That is, listen, because some people crack a little bit earlier. So the fact that she ain't cracked, I was like, you know what? You better bask in this. You better ride that, Who else was there? Oh, what's his name in Last of Us? But Luna, Gabriel Luna played Ghost Rider, and he played Tommy. That's it. He played Tommy in Last of Us. Very cool guy. Oh, I can't tell you. Okay. He mentioned that he could be talking to some studio about something, but I'm going to respect his privacy. He did say to keep it on the low. But if and when if it ends up going anywhere, I will let y'all know that, yes, he did let me know about that early. So I can't say nothing. I want to, when you're at these award shows, it's not an interview. It's not, I can't be saying nothing, but I'm excited if what he talked about could happen for him. Hopefully. So we'll see. But very, very cool. Very thankful that, he was very generous with his time too. Just, talking and everything. Y'all might recognize this dude because I had some things I needed to say to him. I said, sir, come here for a second. There's one thing I need from you, sir. I need you to just get mad and smash things. That's all I need. I wish I had thought to say that. I really wish I had thought to say that, but instead I was just so happy just to see him, and he was so nice. He really want to talk politics. I mean, if you know Mark Ruffalo, this man he's very outspoken. He will talk about whatever he feels is right. I'm mad that I did not tell him I need him to just stay mad and smash things. That's what I should have told him. But I did tell him, like, yo, thank you for speaking up. Thank you for constantly, calling stuff out. But like, he is definitely super nice guy, very, very cool as well. Who else was there? Janelle from Abbott Elementary. That was really for my wife. She watches Abbott Elementary all the time. Of course, the missus is a teacher as well. So it just really worked out for her. With that show, I got some of the other cast as well. Very cool, very nice people as well. I'm gonna say these last two here. Now this one, I was very happy about this. I was very happy about this only because I've always wanted to meet Ethan Hawke, and I finally got to, mainly because, and I told him this the second I met, I was like, listen, man, I know you doing all these other movies and TV shows. Hey, man, thank you for doing John Brown, right? I told him this straight up. I was like, listen, if Hollywood would ever want to do a story about a white savior, that's the man to do it. And he was like, that's what I'm saying. Yes, right. Like, he was super excited about John Brown. And I was like, that's all I need. I just needed to make sure that you understood the work was appreciated. Because again, Hollywood love to create these white saviors, and have these white savior No. Y'all got one in history. And he recognized that. And he said, man, thank you, Ethan Hawke. I appreciate you for that. I didn't even get to talk about Black Phone. I wanted to, but my heart was like, nah, man, we got to talk about John Brown real quick. I can't let you just be out here and not get some props for stuff like that, because it can fly under the radar. Anyway, let me get to this last one here. And I'm going to just tell you the story about this real quick. It's a two-part story. Okay, I think we good. Y'all, is the chat safe? Is the chat, missus ain't here? Okay, I don't think the missus is here. Okay. Let me put the picture up here, and then we'll get to the story. Here, y'all. This Tiana Taylor. Okay, this Tiana Taylor. All right. So previously, I went to Celebration of Black Cinema. While I was at Celebration of Black Cinema, I told y'all this the little story about this. I was able to sit at the table for sinners, right? The sinners table with the cast and crew and stuff, right? So it was all good. Like Miles was sitting to my right, Woomney was sitting to my left, Michael B. Jordan was sitting to her left, and then there was Ryan Coogler and other people, right? All right, cool. So the one battle after another table was like one table over, right? And that's where Tiana was sitting, right? All right. It was getting close to the end of the night, and as the night was ending, hold on, let me actually put this up so y'all can see me. So the night was ending, and as the night was ending, Tiana was coming up over to the table to say goodbye to people, right? Like, she was leaving a little bit into the show. So she reaches down and she like goes to Michael B. Jordan, and she, gives him a hug and, says goodbye, and I'm sitting right here, right? It's Michael, Woomy, then me. So she hugs Michael, leans in, does that. Then she goes over to Woomy, leans in, hugs them. I don't know why I did this. I don't know if this was natural reflex or whatever it was, but I turned around in my chair like this. And she walked away. And I was like, oh, wait, she don't know me. She don't know me. She don't know me. And I sat back down. And I'm glad, because she didn't see me. She didn't see me. I tried. Listen, I just wanted to get a hug too. I don't know why it happened. I don't know how it happened. It was just an instinctual reflex. I saw her, like, She was giving everybody else's hugs. I was like, can I get a hug? Oh, no. That's weird. That's weird, E-Man. Don't do that. That's weird. Okay. So, crisis averted. Crisis averted, right? All right. But y'all see the picture. Bam. Here I am. How did this happen? I kid you not. I'm sitting there. I just get done talking to, it was actually Michael B. Jordan's mom. Like, don't ask me why. I was just randomly talking to Michael B. Jordan's mom, and then the countdown started because the show was about to start. So, you know, when the show started, they like, look, get your butt in the seat right now because it's go time, right? They don't play with that. So I'm sitting here like, yo, I got 60 seconds to get through this crowd of people to get to my seat all the way. I was in the back. I was all the way in the back. So I'm getting through the back, and in the corner of my eye, I see Teyana Taylor, and I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna be able to see her again. Like, it's just never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. So I'm trying to like angle myself, so I'm working towards the back, but I'm also kind of like in her path at the same time. Listen, y'all don't understand. It's a whole strategy to not be a creep, not be a stalker, not be a total fan, be professional, and be smooth all at the same time. It's a whole craft to this. So anyway, I'm walking this way. She's walking that way. I'm still going to my table. This woman looks up at me, looks me up and down, opens up her arms, and gives me a hug. I was like, yes, okay, yes. And I hugged her back. I don't know why. So again, I don't know what the reflex is. She must have had it. First of all, I paused a little too long because I forgot what time it was, where I was. But I quickly just asked her, just real quick, like, yo, can I just get a picture? Because I just want to remember that this was not a figment of my imagination. And she just quickly took the picture, and it was great. So listen, you know, from the ghost hug to the actual reaction hug, I don't know why it happened. I don't care. I don't have any actual, you know, there's nothing fancy about it. It just happened. It just happened. So that's my Teyana story, and I'm sticking to it. There were some others. Did I see anybody? I saw Jimmy Kimmel. Super nice. I didn't take a picture with him because I usually have this policy where I'm like, I like to read people's body language. If I see you leaving, or if I see you walking away, or you just kind of don't want to be bothered, I'm not going to bother you, right? Like Adam Sandler, he did not look like, not judging him, he just didn't look like he wanted to be bothered. I'm not going to bother you, right? And I saw Jimmy walking out, and I was just like, hey, Jimmy, congrats on your award. This man stopped with his entourage, came up to me, shook my hand, looked me in my eye, thanked me, you know, very much. I was sitting like that. Brother, you could have kept going, but okay. Like, I appreciate. Listen, stand up, dude. To me, it's those little things that matter. I feel like those kind of stand out. You know, they tell you about a person. You know. But anyway, as you can see, especially from the videos and stuff, good night, very very good night at the awards. I had a good time. Shout out to the movie blog. I don't know if he's in here or not. My man Anthony was there with me, taking the pictures and stuff, so he did a good job with that as well. But yeah, definitely a good time for sure. Did I have any other stories? Okay, I do have. Stay tuned. I might have something. Okay, you know what? All right, I'm not going to promise anything, but what I will say is, while I was out there, somebody told me, I'm not going to say who, but somebody told me, hey, man, let's link up. Let's do something. I got all the Black Panther 3 information. I said, don't you do this to me. Don't do this to me. You can't. Give me a number. Give me a number, your email, all of that. So I don't know if they were joking. I don't honestly even care if they were joking, but hopefully maybe something can come from that. Hopefully. Now, again, I'm not promising nothing. I don't know if they were joking, but the mere fact that they threw that out there, even as a joke, I'm like, oh, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you. So Just the routine. Subscribe, follow. You never know when something gonna happen. I'm working on it, but you never know. I told you I'll be working for y'all now. I told y'all this. Okay. I think I caught us up for the most part on some of my little side quests and adventures. I still have one more mission. I'm gonna see if I can accomplish this mission, but I can't do it until I need a couple weeks. But I'm still work on something for you. But man, if I could get this, if I can it's gonna be hard to pull it off. But if I can find a way, I think you guys will be proud. If I can find a way, just stay tuned with me, y'all. Just hang with me a little bit longer, please. All right, let's grab some of these comments here before we get started. JN, happy NYE, fam. E-Man, great interview, MBJ. Thank you so much. I always put y'all on food wise. Try kitchen and cocktails downtown. Okay. Jerk noodle soup, catfish, lamb chops. Okay. Yeah. Do I have a pen? Wait a minute. Kitchen and cocktails, man, that sounds delicious. Yes, and the wife loves lamb chops too. Oh yeah. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel that way, man. Jerk noodle soup. Yes, I love jerk stuff anyway, so I'm with that. Let's see, JM, be careful. Tiana likes dudes from the shot. Listen, I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. I'm gonna keep myself right at home. I don't want no problems. No, thank you. I'm good. Let's see. Mo, I'll save that for when we get to the topic a little bit closer. All right, let's get into first bit of news. And I feel like this was a little underreported, so I do at least want to give a little acknowledgement. Y'all know we got to start off, unfortunately, a little bit with the bad news, but we lost one, and that is Isiah Whitlock Jr., who died at the age of 71. I don't recall exactly what he passed away from, but I will say that this man gave so many great memories. Of course, my best memory from him, this where I was introduced to him, was The Wire. The Wire. When this man, I will always and forever say she and think of him. Okay, like he is on that. I hope he has trademarked it. Like that should live on forever. Okay, that needs to live on forever. This man is one of those, like he never hurt anything he was in. He always elevated it, even as a supporting character. Rest in peace, Mr. Whitlock Jr. You will be missed, and thank you so much for the memories and the laughs. Great actor as well. All right, let's go on. Let's do some quick updates. We've got a bunch of different things. So I don't know if y'all saw, but there was like this whole little debate going on, with the whole Michael B. Jordan and Timothy Chalamet. I finally got his name right. Chalamet. But we had the Critics' Choice Awards, which I am a voting member, and the results came in. Best Actor went to Chalamet. Best Actress, Buckley. Supporting went to Jacob Elordi, which I think that was fair. That was a fair one. Best Supporting Actress went to the Weapons lady, Madigan. Best Young Actor went to Miles Catone, so that was shout out to him for that. Sinners. I was rooting for Sinners to win. I was rooting for Ryan to win, director, but I knew going in that it was always going to be a toss-up between One Battle After Another and Sinners. I have been on the forefront of the Sinners mob, basically saying that like Sinners deserves every and each award, not just because it's Black, but mainly because of what it has objectively accomplished. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Ryan Coogler constantly, with most of his films anyway, will overachieve. And then all of a sudden, this narrative comes out that this or that he did was overrated. Creed, overrated. Black Panther, overrated. Sinners, overrated. Meanwhile, all he ends up doing is breaking records, having significant cultural impact, and making and keeping stuff Black centered. Do you know how hard that is for anyone else to do? For any other director, Black director, to keep a focus on a Black centered story, to make a horror, to make it rated R, to break box office numbers, to get high reviews from critics and from fans, and to still be socially relevant. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that, and I'm not trying to brag, I don't think it's a coincidence that me posting about the new Juke Joint song, in Sinners, and Michael B giving the perfect answer. It's not a coincidence that something like that is going viral. It's not a coincidence that when we talk about the Grace debate, was it all her fault or not? That's not going popular or viral because of me. It's going viral because of the impact the movie had. It actually has people talking. I don't see nobody really talking about One Battle After Another like that. It might get a little awards talk here and there, but ain't nobody really dissecting the movie like that. Ain't nobody really dressing up or making skits or writing think pieces over the movie like that. So to me, I'm just like, man, like, I knew that the whole Sinners thing would not, it was going to be a tough one. And I had already heard people kind of leaning towards, voting for it over Sinners, but either way, do anticipate that Sinners will get a lot of nominations, a lot of them. But I'm not going to say the fix is in, but I would not be surprised if you start seeing One Battle After Another and Paul Thomas Anderson winning more. And I'll say this too, because I've heard this in certain film circles as well. I don't care how many times Paul Thomas Anderson has been nominated and never won. I don't like that. I don't like that idea of, oh, well, this person has been nominated, but they never won, so we need to kind of reward them now. F all that. If you keep coming up short, you just keep coming up short. But don't sit here and, hold back better new talent just because you want to give a pity award, because that's essentially what it is. Like, oh yeah, we messed up in the past, so let's reward you now. Don't do that, because that's exactly why y'all ignored Angela Bassett and gave it to Jamie Lee Curtis. Because, who knows when she'll win again? Who cares? Was she the best at that time or not? So yeah, I don't like that kind of mentality. I would much rather reward whatever movie or director or actor that did the job that year, and not be like, all right, well, here's a makeup for you. That's stupid. That's whack. I don't like that. All right, moving on. Black Mirror has been renewed for season 8 at Netflix. I feel so bad because I still have not watched season 7. And I am a huge Black Mirror fan. I just been overwhelmed because there's been so many things I have to watch, so many things I'm doing now. It's award season is always really, really tough for critics, press people like in our area. But I'm glad to hear that they have a season 8. What I will say about this is I am eagerly anticipating and excited to find out what the hell are you about to show us. Like, what are you going to do and give to us that is going to push the technology and sci-fi forward? Because I feel like after season seven, technology done caught up. Like, remember, if you watch Black Mirror when it first, like the first season, a lot of that stuff felt like, man, we're not gonna get there for like 10, 20 years. Like that's an interesting idea, but we got to give that time to breathe. Then AI happened. The season 6, they came out with it and was like, oh yeah, AI gonna take over and do this. AI took like 5 months, and it was like, yup, caught up. So I'm sitting here like, man, can y'all push this any further? Because technology is catching up real fast, real fast. Next up, we got them dragons. Now, season 3 has not even come out yet, but we do have season 4, and it's now going to be confirmed as the final season. I personally thought that season 3 was going to be the final season, but it looks like we got some more. It looks like we got some more, and we still have what is that, Night of the Seven Kingdoms or whatever. That's going to come out. I don't know how to feel with that yet. I have not watched my screeners yet, but everything I've heard so far with Night of the Seven Kingdoms is it's different, and it ain't your typical Game of Thrones. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. We've read different descriptions about how Night of the Seven Kingdoms is not going to be it's not going to be about multiple characters and all the politics. It's going to focus only on the one character. The episodes are short. They're like, 20, 30 minutes long. So I don't know. And this takes place, I want to say, like a couple 70 years or something like that after House of the Dragon. So it will be interesting to see how that fits. My main question is going to be, how does House of the Dragon work with Night of the Seven Kingdoms taking place right after that? Like, I would have expected this to come after the show ends, but I don't know. I have low expectations for it. I have very, very low expectations, but we'll see what happens. And it is Team Black all day. Okay, we doing Team Black. We not messing with Team Green. Team Green is not. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. What else do we have? Oh yeah, we got an update on the Oceans movie with George Clooney and them. So he is trying to get the gang back together, and I guess we've got a little bit of insight as to what this movie is actually going to be about this time. And he says here that Brad Pitt, Don Cheadle, Matt Damon, Julia Roberts, all of them are coming back. Shout out to Bernie Mac. And the film will explore the difficulties of pulling off a heist when they're much older. I don't know if that's like really gonna sell me on this. Like, I guess it's just going to be a bunch of running jokes of, oh man, my back. Oh man, my arthritis. I can't steal things the way I used to. Like, I would have, I didn't ask for AARP Ocean's 11. Like, I didn't ask for that. Like, I would have rather y'all just came out and just said, hey, this is going to be the last heist, and we gonna make it count. Just something like that. Y'all didn't have to go. You could have kept that part out. Just you could have kept it. And I like all the Ocean's movies. I like all of them. But that description is not getting me going. Okay, it's not really enticing me at this point. So I don't know if y'all like it. Y'all let me know. But I'm a little. I don't know. This kind of make me a little cool on this. Next up, Ryan Coogler did some interviews. And one thing he shared was an update with the X-Files, and he said that the series will have a similar structure to the original show. He says we intend on having both Monsters of the Week and also overarching conspiracy. I love that. As a fan of the X-Files, I remember I watched it like right before it got, it went off the air. Loved it. So I am happy that he is going to keep the structure the same way. I'm curious. I'm really curious as to two things. One, are you going to make the agents black? I feel like he might do some stuff like that. I feel like he's going to make, the lead agents black, or maybe he'll mix them up. I don't know. But I feel like you got to throw one black person in there just to get certain people mad. I just want to see certain people mad. And of course, you got to have Mulder and Scully in there somewhere. Listen, you reach out to David, you reach out to, to Miss Anderson. You got to put them in there some way, somehow. I don't know how it's going to work. And it's got to be a continuation. It's got to. But you got to put that in there some way, somehow. But I am looking forward to the X-Files. That is definitely something I want to see for sure. Next up, we have the Avatar, Last Airbender, Legend of Aang. It was going to be a movie going in the theaters, but apparently, that's going to pivot, and it's going to be only on Paramount Plus. Now, they bogus for this because I do not plan on subscribing to Paramount Plus. So I'm going to have to find other methods to acquire this. I don't want to sign up for Paramount Plus. I just don't. I don't like the way that they moving. I don't like the way that they shaking. But I do love me some Avatar. My kids love Avatar. And this is dumb for sure. How you gonna have a beloved animated series? You're making it a continuation and a movie, and you're not gonna put that in theaters? So you don't want me and my kids' money? Okay, cool. Good luck. You're not getting a subscription out of me for that. Not for one movie. So yeah. All right. Bet. Say less. I will absolutely be watching this in other ways. Now you also have something that I think was well needed, and that is the Television Academy are creating the Legacy Award. What is that? The award is to celebrate TV shows that have made a profound and lasting impact on audiences and are currently culturally relevant. In other words, all those other TV shows that never got, the Prime Awards or whatever, and they've lasted the test of time, they are going to get awarded. Yes, Sopranos. Yes, The Simpsons. Yes, Breaking Bad. And if this ain't the very first award, it better be The Wire. The Wire has to be first and foremost the first one we talk about. I don't want to hear nothing about Sopranos yet. Y'all take a seat. Okay? Y'all take a seat. I need The Wire first to get that award. Then you can give it to everybody else. But The Wire needs, and by the way, I don't know why they're not putting that up there right now. Game of Thrones gonna need one too. Game of Thrones. I know they did not end on the best note, but you will be lying if you cannot admit that Game of Thrones had us in the tightest of chokeholds every week. Every week, Game of Thrones was doing the thing to all of us. Okay, so we definitely need that rewarded. Oh, in Living Color, great pick. Absolutely, in Living Color should get it. I mean, what else? What other TV series would you say? Oh, they probably gonna do Friends. Can Living Single? There would be no Friends if Living Single was not there. Can Living Single? Man, I need Martin. I need Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Y'all got a long list. Okay? Don't nobody in here say MASH. I don't care what it did. Should no show be awarded? The only cultural significance MASH has is putting people to sleep. If you was under 40 years old, you was going to sleep. Okay? That's the only thing MASH had culturally relevant. I don't care. But I need Fresh Prince. I need Martin. I need Living Single. I need In Living Color. I need all of that to get them legacy awards. Okay, all of it. Martin absolutely should get it. There to this day, I still quote Martin lines for no reason. No, I see some weird animal. What am I saying? That ain't no damn puppy. Like, yes, yes, you know, GTD, random spoons. Like, come on, man. Man, listen, don't get me started. Don't get me started on that. I love this. I love yes. Oh, the Jeffersons all in the family. Come on, good times. Come on, man. Listen, Golden Girl. Woo, come on, y'all doing some good ones. Cosby Show gonna need. I know some people gonna feel some type of way. You don't have to like Bill Cosby. You don't have to agree, and I'm fine with that. But you cannot deny the Cosby Show was one of the most important shows for a long time. You got to give it up to the Cosby Show. You have to. Man, we're gonna be here forever. But man, yes, I like this. I like this. I'm with it. Let us definitely get to awarding them for sure. All right. Y'all let me know what you think about all those topics in the comments down below. And yes, we will get to that topic y'all talking about. It is there. We will get to that rumor later on. So hold tight. Tyra, what you got? Sorry, we ignored Black TV Awards. I know. I know. Well, we try. We try to do better. We try. Tony, what's this here? Why was The Mummy 1999 able to succeed at binding genre together with action, comedy, and horror, while others failed to where it was as an inconsistent tone? That's a good question. I think The Mummy. I mean, think about the fact that it was. I think it all had to do with timing, right? 1999, you were kind of sort of coming off of the end of the age of like the action comedy stuff. And I mean, listen, people kind of shift, right? Like you still were having comedies work, but the action comedies, like, and I, I can stand to be corrected. I'm hard pressed to think about what else was really working in that regard. And Brendan Fraser was a draw. My man was coming off of Encino Man. He was coming off of what else was he doing? He was doing something else. I don't think Biodome did well, but he was a rising star, at that point. But I've always been of the opinion that Hollywood kind of goes in shifts. So when they go into shifts, like we have different ages. We're currently in the superhero age, right? The superhero comic book age. And who knows how long that will even last. But everything has ups and downs. Right now, and I would argue this too. Have we really had a good comedy like run in theaters? Because like I remember in the early 2000s, we had Hangover, we had Rush Hour, we had Anchorman, we had insert Adam Sandler movie here. There was a good run for comedy movies during that time, but nowadays I don't want to hear nobody talk about superhero movie fatigue if you're not going to talk about comedy fatigue, because comedies have been lacking. When was the last time a comedy really got you out there? Now, we might have like one or two here or there, but they haven't had the same impact that they used to, So, I mean, I remember, Robin Williams used to have us going to the theaters immediately. Jim Carrey immediately. Those days are over. Anyway, let's move on. We do have some WB Netflix update. Actually, it's more so a Paramount WB update. As you recall, if you haven't already, Netflix is trying to buy out WB. And in the meantime, you got Paramount outside like, hey, we want in. Paramount's like, nah, we want in, right? And what has Paramount been doing? Netflix offered WB $80 billion for their whole catalog, everything. And Paramount was like, we see your 80 and we gonna raise it 108 bill. And I think one of the Edelson, his daddy or something, was like, man, I'll liquidate 40 bill in cash for you right now. Just round numbers. So that was basically what they call the hostile takeover, because with that hostile takeover, you're basically taking that the offer of cash and value, and you're saying forget what the share with the chair board, the CEOs and all those other people think. We're going to go straight to the shareholders. And yeah, Netflix was like no, WB was like, nah, we good. We gonna go out with Netflix instead. Yeah, we good. Nah, nah, we're fine. And Paramount was like, nah, I don't think you understand. We said we have $110 billion. Like it's like $30 billion more than what Netflix was giving y'all. We're giving you more money. And WB was like, all right, let's think about this. About that. So no, because WB has rejected Paramount's eighth attempt. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, 7, but 8th attempt to buy the studio. Yo, I don't know about y'all, but if somebody told me no at least once, maybe twice, I'm done. I'm moving on. Yo, Paramount, she's just not that into you, bro. Like, you gotta stop at some point. This is bad. Ugh. But yeah, just eighth time ain't the charm, you know. And Paramount don't like that. Paramount does not like that at all. And they like, we're gonna write to the lawmakers and say that Netflix acquired Warner Brothers and it was presumptively unlawful. So they about to sue. No, they're not even gonna sue. They're gonna go to Congress. Look at that. They're not even going to court. They're going to lawmakers, Congress, to go be like, hey, y'all need to strike that down. Because keep in mind, in order for WB and Netflix to even do their merger, they do need federal government approval, you know, in that case. They argued that it would further cement Netflix's dominance in streaming video on demand. Now, here's the thing. I actually agree with Paramount. I agree with them that, like, Netflix buying WB, it does come with a lot of problems. The Directors Guild, you know, has come out. The Writers Guild has come out. There have been a lot of creatives in the space that are like, we don't like this, because if Netflix does end up buying WB, you run a lot of risks. I mean, we went over it in the past video before, but like, you're talking about a company that's going to be like, oh, let's just keep pushing these franchise IPs, more Harry Potter, you know, more Alien, more this, more that. But would you really get a Sinners? Would you really get a Weapons if you don't have these independent, separated studios willing to take the chance on things that are not guaranteed bankers, you know, money movers like that? So you know, and this is my bigger issue with Netflix, and they tried to be sneaky. I told y'all they tried to be sneaky. They sat here and said, "Oh, we're not going to change WB's business model. We're going to keep movies in theaters." But I told y'all, the one thing that they did not say was that release window, and that does matter. Okay, what did Netflix say? They're reportedly interested in giving a 17-day window for theatrical window for WB films once they acquire the studio. Do you realize how trash that is? That's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks. Let me tell you why this matters. A 17-week day window. First of all, that's one paycheck for you if you buy weekly, right? So if you live in check to check and you want to go see the next Sinners 2 or whatever, you're going to have that one pay period to hurry up and get there. Okay, cool. Let me tell you why this also sucks for you. When you go to the theater, a lot of us that are, we watching our dollars and everything, right? $5 Tuesdays. If there's a $5 Tuesday, what usually happens? You usually can't get it for the movie that comes out that week. You usually have to wait maybe a week or two for that movie to qualify for the $5 Tuesday discount. Well, if this movie's only going to come out for 2 weeks, you might not get that discount. So once again, you're screwed out of this. Not to mention when the movies go to the theaters, you're going to have actors and you're going to have, performers who basically when they sign a contract, they usually will sign a contract one of two ways. One, pay me up front. Hey, I'm The Rock. Hey, I'm ScarJo. Give me $20 million up front. That's my signing bonus. That's my fee. Or they'll be like, you know what? It's a big old cast. It's a lot of people. I'm going to sign on the back end, right? You don't have to pay me up front. I'll collect a certain percentage on the back end. Well, guess what? If the movie's out for only 17 days, there is no back end. You're not going to get nothing. Not in the first 2 weeks. You're not going to get all your money back like that. So you're killing momentum of a movie, potentially also undercutting the ability for the movie to get bigger name stars. You might not get something like One Battle After Another because to get Leo, to get Benicio, to get like Regina Hall, to get all these people on one movie, you might have to play a little funny with the books. That might not happen now because they're going to have to keep the budget down because, sorry, ain't no back end. So I'm just saying, like, this 17-day window is not ideal. And let me just throw this last thing in there. All movies are not meant to really be watched and fully appreciated on screen. No, and I'm not trying to shade nobody, but I don't think everybody has a 80-inch 4K TV with surround sound movie quality theater in their house. They might not have that. Some people probably just, they rocking with a 30-inch, 40-inch, whatever. Maybe your laptop. That's not the best way to appreciate a film. That's not the way it was meant to be seen. They didn't shoot it like that. So, yeah, like Netflix, I think if they end up doing stuff like that, it can be a problem, especially if they're because listen, and here's the other thing. I'll give you one more. When you're doing a 17-day window, what does that actually tell you? That tells you that they are in a hurry to put that movie on streaming real fast. And what ends up happening whenever something gets on Netflix? It's hot, right? The thing is hot for that day, maybe even for that week, until the next thing. And then the next thing. Like, it's not going to last and have the run and the impact compared to when it's in the theaters. A lot of things that happen on Netflix, they only last for so long. Even Stranger Things, it had all these crazy numbers, but outside of myself, who, yes, I know I'm a little late with it, ain't nobody really talking about Stranger Things like that anymore. Now, for them 2-3 days when it came out, it was Stranger Things probably all on your timeline. But after that, it's done with. It's over. And that's what's going to happen with Netflix when they buy and purchase WB and take things straight out the theaters, put them on there. Yes, it'll have one good day, but then it's off to the next one. So we're going to have theatrical ADD. That's pretty much what we're going to end up having. So, I do agree with Paramount. This is not going to be the best, but again, I don't agree with Paramount in terms of them being the ones that should purchase it because I don't really like, and let me be very clear with this. I know billionaires, are always going to have some type of relationship with a government official. I get that. I'm not naive. I don't like how y'all out there open with it though. That sometimes, listen, I don't have to see how y'all make the food. If the food is good, just let it be good. I don't need to know how it's. Don't show me the kitchen. You know, when I go to that hole in the wall joint, to get my sandwich, and the bag comes out greasy, I don't want to know how it was made. I just know it's delicious, and it might take a couple years off my life. That's all I know. But don't show me the back. And I feel like Paramount been showing the back a little too much about like, well, Mr. Trump, we gonna do this and we gonna work with the administration. And like, what? No, I don't like that. I don't like that. So anyway, y'all let me know, how do you feel about the whole acquisition? Do you think Paramount should continue? Is the ninth charm the best? Is that the best time? Y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. What else do we have? We got an Avatar update. So Avatar Fire and Ash, in case you have not seen it, I gave my review, what was it, like week before or something like that. Listen, James Cameron, this is his baby, and I have to say that one thing the Avatar films are known for is making that money. They make the money. And it looks like that ain't stopping, because this thing done got $1 billion worldwide. And that was just last week. That was last week. Okay. I'm shocked. Let me actually see what it's at now. Avatar Fire and Ash. I'm shocked because I fully anticipated. Okay, it's at 1.1 billion right now worldwide. I fully anticipated that after the pandemic, there would be a curve. And I've told you guys this too. When it comes to movies, everything after everything after the pandemic, box office numbers are not going to be the same. You cannot look at a movie. I don't care if it's a sequel. I don't care if it's in the same franchise. I don't care if it's in the same studio. You cannot look and compare things after the pandemic with what happened before the pandemic. Way too many things have changed. Our behaviors have changed. Streaming is more available. Release windows are getting shorter. The behavior of how we anticipate and expect for movies have shifted. Everything has changed in the last 5 years. So yes, while Avatar used to make $2.3 billion, I don't see it doing that now. Now, it did make $1 billion, which I think is wild, but it did it. Whatever Avatar makes now, when the theatrical run is done, whatever Avengers Doomsday makes, that will be the new peak. That will be the new top of the mountain when it comes to what movies should be making. So, in other words, if Avatar ends off with $1.5 billion, it's not a flop. Do not call it a flop if it didn't make the $2 billion like the other one. No, that's the new high ceiling, and everything else is going to be below that. If Avengers can only make 1.3 billion, guess what? That's the new high for superhero movies. So I'm interested in seeing where this goes. I am a little surprised that it even got to $1 billion this fast, but it did it anyway. But here's the other thing. When it comes to Avatar, we know that James Cameron has constantly talked about how he got like all these other, Avatar movies that he wants to make. He got like 4 or 5 of these things sitting off, ready to go and all of that. So all of that jazz, right? And of course, what did he say last time? He was like, "Oh, don't ask me about the next ones. I just got done with this one." All right, sir, whatever. So my thing is this, and he said this too. He's old. He's an old guy. He knows that there's only so much of these movies that he can do at at a time. And the question is going to be, who is going to take over? Now, he has said in the past that he will train someone to do it for him. But the question is like, yo, who's going to take over the Avatar franchise? And it looks like we have a new challenger. No one is like, he hasn't picked anyone, James Cameron, but it looks like we do have a new challenger. And it says here that James Wan has stepped up to the plate. He says, I have not done Avatar. Yeah, if you could put a good one in for me with James Cameron, I'd love to take a crack at that. Now, in case you don't recall, James Wan is the guy that gave you the Saw movie, Insidious, Conjuring 1 and 2, Fast and Furious 7, right before it started to get worse, and Aquaman. So, James is no slouch. He is no slouch. He absolutely could step in and do something with this. I will admit, as much as I am a fan of James Wan, I'm a huge fan. He would not be my first pick to start doing the Avatar films. Now, I doubt he would ever do it because he is a little bit older and, like he's got other things he wants to do. Steven Spielberg feels like the most natural fit to step in and do a Avatar film. But if it wasn't Steven Spielberg, I would also go ahead and throw in there Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson, the dude that gave us the Lord of the Rings movies, he absolutely could come in and knock that out. So if I had to go in order, I would say I would do Steven Spielberg for my Avatar director, Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, Denis Villeneuve. I would give it to him as well because just visually, I think he would nail it out the park. If there was a younger Ridley Scott, maybe, but not current Ridley Scott. Christopher Nolan could do it, but honestly, I ain't trying to have my avatars time travel. And yeah, I don't think we need that. And then, James Wan would be fine, if you wanted to do that. So that would be my order of who I would put in there if I could pick a couple directors to do it. But you guys let me know, how do you feel about the whole Avatar making $1 billion and creeping itself? It's still going. Who would you want to see direct? Anybody? Ooh, Guillermo del Toro. That's a good one. That's a good pick. That's a good sneaky pick. Y'all let me know if there's anybody else you'd want to see direct Avatar in the comments down below. All right. Let's get into it. We got a little Star Wars news, little Star Wars update. So, supposedly we have a Star Wars movie coming out. And supposedly this is Sean Levy's, and this is a Star Wars Starfighter, with Ryan Gosling or whatever. I don't know. I'm still on the fence. Like I said, where's the trailer? Where are the tickets? I need to know that this is actually happening because we already know we got trust issues with the Star Wars brand at this point. But apparently, because for whatever reason, I don't think we can ever not have a story where Tom Cruise is involved. But Tom Cruise visited the set of Star Wars Starfighter, and he ended up filming one of the lightsaber duels for the film. It said Cruise waded into the muddy pond, holding the camera like a pro. All right. So, first of all, like I said, I already have trust issues as to whether or not this movie's even going to be made. However, let's just say that this is actually true. You had me at lightsaber duel. Because I honestly did not care that Ryan Gosling was in there. I do not care about starfighters like that. I don't care. I love Star Wars. I don't care about starfighters, space jets flying. I don't care. But you said lightsaber battle. You said a lightsaber duel. That's what I come to Star Wars for. I come to Star Wars for the Force and for somebody to get some limbs chopped off with a lightsaber. I don't care how simplistic it is. George Lucas said Star Wars is meant for 12-year-olds. So we're going to keep it nice and basic. That's what I'm looking for in Star Wars. The Force and some limbs getting chopped off with lightsabers. So I don't care if Tom Cruise is shooting this, shooting that, whatever. That's great. But you said lightsabers. Now I'm interested. But more onto a more important situation. As mentioned, with those trust issues in Star Wars, a lot of that has derived mainly because of the direction of Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy is basically the Kevin Feige of Star Wars at this point. And she is one of the main reasons why things happen or that they don't happen. So, for one, let me just say, I'm not going to trash Kathleen Kennedy because her resume, if you look at her resume, it is outstanding. It is outstanding. Like, she is and has been in charge of movies that, and series. Her resume craps on a lot of other producers out there. However, we can't just ignore the fact that the last time we had a Star Wars movie was 2018, 2017. Like, that's ridiculous for this kind of franchise. If it was a small little thing or whatever, that's different. But you got a whole franchise, and the mere fact that you, Ms. Kennedy, have gone out there and was like, hey, we got Taika Waititi. Hey, we got Rian Johnson. Hey, we got hey. You got all these announcements of all these movies and all these TV series and all these things that were supposed to come out, and then they didn't come out. Again, it'd be different if you didn't say nothing at all. That would be different. But y'all put yourselves on that platform talking about we gonna do this, we gonna do that, we gonna do this. And then you gave us nothing. So there's that. So the question was, it was reported that she is going to retire. She was looking to step down, and she was looking for a successor. I've already told y'all that I'd be very okay if it was part of the money team that did it, and that's Jon Favreau, who already gave us The Mandalorian. But it looks like my dreams have come true, because right now, the new person that's going to be the successor is going to be Dave Filoni. The second half of the money team in Star Wars says Filoni is about to be tapped as co-president to run the creative side of Lucasfilm. The fellow co-president would be Lin-Wen Brennan, who would be on the executive side. So what it sounds like is we're getting a similar structure that we got in DC, with James Gunn and Peter Safran. James Gunn does the creative, Peter Safran does the executive, business stuff. And I think that works here, because Dave Filoni, I do need him to just be on the creative stuff. He's like a mini George Lucas, right? He's gone to the temple. He's practiced under the Lucas sensei, teachings and all of that. He knows the Lord back and forth. He's a nerd. I want nerds in charge of the creative. He doesn't need to do all the business stuff. Sometimes the business stuff can get messy. It can be distracting. Let this man do what he does over there. Okay? And in case you did not know, Dave Filoni is the one that's responsible for one of the best things in Star Wars ever. One of the best. And that is the animated Clone Wars series and the Rebels 4-season series as well. And he also obviously worked on The Mandalorian. He's also working on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, supposedly, if that ever comes out. And this man gave us Ahsoka. He created Ahsoka. He gave her her own show. Like, he is integral to the good parts of Star Wars, and he's going to now be in charge moving forward. I love this. I absolutely love this. Now, I thought I wanted, Jon Favreau to be included as well, but you know what? That's okay. We got half the money team there. It's fine. Dave Filoni knows what he's doing. I have more faith and confidence in the ideas that he will have than I would anybody else at this point. Now, I will say that it is going to be interesting to see, because Dave Filoni does not have this level of experience either, right? Like, this is a huge promotion for him. I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping that he steps up to the plate and knocks it out the park and becomes the next Kevin Feige, if not better, for Star Wars. But I am a little nervous because he doesn't have the same credentials as Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy, even though I just gave her the criticism, right? She still knows how to put out quality. And she's also very, very highly respected in the industry. Like, you're not going to just boss Kathleen Kennedy around like that. If she's like, listen, I ain't got no Star Wars for you, then you just ain't got no Star Wars. Anybody else? Let's be honest. Think about it. Who else do you know would be in charge of a huge franchise and not put out a single billion-dollar movie and still hold their job for years? That lets me know that you got some pull, or that they don't want to fire you at all. Like, I don't even think Kevin Feige could pull some nonsense like that. Could y'all imagine if we didn't get an MCU movie for 8 years? I don't think that would ever happen. Like, as much as Kevin Feige has done, he would be out. They would kick him out so fast. So, best of luck to Filoni. I hope he knocks it out the park, like I said. But I do think that this is a step in the right direction for Star Wars. But you guys let me know, how do you feel about Dave Filoni being the new co-president of Star Wars Lucasfilm? He's going to be handling all the creative stuff, the movies, TV shows. They all going to go through him. I'm with it. Let this man cook. I feel like he'll be able to give us some quality. He hasn't let me down so far, so I'm with it. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. Luna, what you got? With the Netflix merger, how do you think future movie TV age demographics could change? How might the effect upcoming productions, less superheroes? So yeah, I mean, I'll just kind of reiterate, and thank you so much for the donation. I do think that we will get more tentpole properties, so we will get more things that, you'll get more Stranger Things spinoffs, you'll get more Harry Potter spinoffs, you'll get more whatever is under, you might get more superhero stuff, maybe not less. I mean, think about it. WB does have DC under them. Hopefully Netflix doesn't bother James Gunn and lets them run like normal. The production, I do think, I think that's going to happen, or at least to your point about the demographics and stuff. Netflix is already number one. Netflix, if this even happens, Netflix will put a huge stranglehold on the industry where I don't know who can compete. Like Amazon, Disney, like somebody else is gonna have to merge just to compete with that kind of catalog. Because if you thought to yourself, man, it's hard to cancel Netflix now, it'll be even harder later. They will have so many deals. They will have, like, Netflix will become what cable was, if not bigger, and probably better. and more expensive. And they'll get so expensive that you won't blink because they'll have that much content. So, anyway, I think that we just will probably get less original stuff. That's what I think is going to change and be affected. Thoughts on Tony? You be coming up with random stuff. Mike Myers, Cat in the Hat. Are they doing another one? I haven't heard if they're doing another one, but I did like the original one. I watched it with my kids a long time ago, and I thought it was cool. I thought he was cool. I thought he did a good job with it. I don't know if they'll do any more, but if they do, I'd be down. My kids liked it, so let's go. All right, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. All right, a quick question for you guys. I feel like enough time has gone by with Stranger Things. I feel like it has. Are y'all comfortable talking about Stranger Things finale? Is there anybody here? Let me just put it up just in case, because I don't, listen, potential spoiler alert. Like, I mean, y'all had like 2 weeks. Y'all had 2 weeks for this. At this point, I don't even know. Like, if you haven't seen it, I don't know what to tell you, but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Feel free to tune out, come on back, put me on mute. I don't know, whatever you got to do. But yeah. So I'm not gonna do a breakdown right now on it, but I will say that just general overall impression. I liked it. I liked it. I don't think I loved it. I didn't love it. I loved the first 4 episodes. I think that the next 4 episodes felt kind of like a rinse, wash, and repeat. Hey, let's make a plan. Hey, let's execute the plan. Uh-oh, something went wrong. It didn't feel as original, like as the other seasons would. And it did feel a little predictable at times. I think the very last ending, that I totally understand if people like it or did not like it. I have mixed reactions, mixed emotions with it. I think it could have been better. I was a little, it felt odd how fast they went into the upside down and then just was like, oh, okay, we're just gonna take care of Vecna and the Mind Flayer like in 5-10 minutes. I was just like, damn, that, like, I looked at the time, I was like, wait, y'all got 30 more minutes? Like, is there gonna be another monster? Is there gonna be more coming? Like, what's happening here? I was a little dissatisfied with the whole military thing. They felt like a huge presence, but didn't really. I don't know. Like, I felt like they were just like they kind of just was like, all right, whatever, y'all done. We're done here. 11's dead, so nah, we're done. Like, that's it. That's it. Linda Hamilton felt kind of wasted. I did like how Mike put the theory out there, because that's kind of what I was thinking too. Here's the thing. Just like with time travel, the same way with time travel, how you can make up whatever you want, and it's like the easiest fix for any writer. The moment we knew that Elle's sister, what was her name, 8 or whatever, the moment she got the little clock it finger going or whatever, I'm sitting here like, nah, you ain't really dead. Nah, you not. Because I was sitting there, I was like, nah, like, that's her whole power. That's her whole ability, is to cast these illusions and stuff. So I do believe into that whole thing. And I do think that they let Vecna off the hook. Vecna was powering up. Vecna was getting way more powerful. And I feel like just at the end, they just kind of was like, you dead anyway. You dying. And it was like, come on, man. Like, And here's the thing. I know that there was like these conspiracy theories going around saying like, yo, actually the last episode, it was all a trick. Vecna like just mind messed up like everybody and all of that. And I was like, you know what? I that would be genius if y'all played us, because there are some plot holes. There are a lot, and you could go down that rabbit hole if you want to, but there are a lot of plot holes. Like, how the heck did whatchamacallit, what's the redhead girl's name? Whatever her name is, Max. How the heck is Max gonna graduate? How's she gonna graduate and she was in coma for 2 weeks, for two years? Like, stop it. You know, there were a lot of inconsistencies, you know, and listen, I'm not trying to subscribe to the conspiracy theories, but I do think they had a point. I do think they had a point with a couple of things like, nah, y'all should have kept that sucker going, you know. And I ain't gonna lie, I was up there on January 7th at 7 o'clock. I was looking at Netflix and it did crash. The website did crash because I was looking for that 9th episode. Like, what y'all got? Y'all got a real conclusion, right? You know, but no, they didn't. And it already got confirmed that a secret 9th episode is not actually happening. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, y'all messed up. Y'all messed up. Because here's the thing. Even if it wasn't planned and it wasn't happening, if I'm Netflix, if I'm the Duffer Brothers, I'm looking at every Reddit post, every TikTok conspiracy, and I'm sitting there like, okay, yeah, we could, oh yeah, okay. And I'm gonna mix it, twist it, put my own little spin on it so I can't get copyrighted. And I'm dropping that 9th episode. I don't care if it's next year. Like, whatever. Don't care. Listen, all them kids done grown up anyway. We don't care. We already there. If you sit here and come back and be like, yeah, Vecna won, Vecna actually captured all of the older people, and you do a time jump. And, you know, just something, I don't know, whatever happens, I feel like you could make it work. You can make it work. And then, of course, there will be a spinoff. Let the spinoff happen. Let it be a different crew of people and make that work some way, somehow. And of course, 11 ain't dead. Stop playing. Y'all got Millie Bobby Brown for the next 20 years. Y'all gonna have her show up in some sort of spinoff somewhere down the line. She's too valuable to not have her around. After all that training she done did, you gonna let her go to waste in the wilderness to go to go chasing some waterfalls? Hell no. Nah, she alive somewhere. She's fine. But anyway, I mean, listen, if you know, and I know this is very impromptu, if I had to give season 5 a rating, actually, y'all give me y'all rating too. 0 to 10 for season 5, not the finale, but the whole season. I think I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I would give it an 8 out of 10. And I'm only taking points off because they did kind of repeat some stuff. I know some people didn't like the writing, like with Will and his character and stuff. Honestly, I think it technically worked fine. I do think that it was like the worst kept secret, and I was like, come on, man, just come on now. Like, we know, you know, we know. But I did like, one thing I did like also was with Nancy and her non-boyfriend anymore. I love that because I was telling y'all, I was like, how are these two together? Like, they don't, y'all were telling me that they were together in real life. I was like, what? How? But in the show, it never made sense. And I'm glad they addressed that. I'm glad they were like, yeah, we're only really together because of the trauma. That, listen, sometimes that happens in real life. Some people just be together just because of circumstance, you know. So I like that they actually acknowledge that. I like Steve. Steve was real cool. I was happy for Steve probably the most out of everybody in that whole season. My man Lucas got the girl. He got his girl. My man Lucas, man. And he got a shape up. I want to say he got his little shape up, his haircut after a minute too. So shout out to him as well. But yeah, you know, I think they left a lot on the table. I wouldn't say it was as bad as Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones still had a bigger drop off from a taller high, but I'm not going to take away what Stranger Things did. Stranger Things was still phenomenal. It was great. It was exciting. You had my attention for 5 seasons and 7 episodes up until the last one. Like, that's a great accomplishment. That is a wonderful accomplishment. And you didn't milk the season like others, series would do. You didn't drag it into the mud, Supernatural. 5 seasons is usually a really good cutoff point. I still think the finale could have been better, but yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10, man. Like it was cool for me. Anyway, we do have some news. So, like, obviously after um uh just like Supernatural dragged out way too long. They should have stopped at season 5. But we do have some news from the Duffer Brothers after this was about Vecna. They said that they considered giving Vecna a Darth Vader redemption type story. They said here, we did discuss with the writers' room if we could have a Billy moment where he turns against the Mind Flayer in a Darth Vader type situation, even though he is shaken by seeking his memory. He's too far gone at this point to turn against the Mind Flayer. I liked the fact that he didn't turn, because it did look like they were going to try and make him be like, oh, I'm actually good again. And nah, man, some people just got to be messed up. Like all the way down to the last drop. Like he just was not going. And I was okay with that. I was okay that they didn't make him turn. Now, at this point, I don't really, let me just read what they had to say, because people were saying, it was like, yo, where are these demogorgons? Like, where are the bats? Where are all these other creatures in the Upside Down? Did y'all run out the budget? Like, what happened? And they sat here and said, they explained why there were no demogorgons in the Stranger Things series finale. Mainly, it's just that Vecna was not expecting this sneak attack on his home turf. Never in a million years could he even imagine that they're somewhere, or that the demogorgons they're somewhere. Trash. No, absolutely not. What you not gonna do is gaslight us by sitting here saying the creatures that we seen from episode 1, the creatures in season 5 that were literally ripping the fabric of reality to get into, to go from one dimension to another, that they just went to sleep, that they was on holiday, they was on vacation. What are you saying? What are you talking about? Get out of here. Stop playing in our face. Stop playing in our face. Eddie died because of this. And you just gonna sit here and say, like, they were shocked. They were a little surprised. They didn't know they were coming. Well, what are they doing? Nah, man. Y'all should have just said, we don't know, or just no comment. Don't give us an even worse excuse like that. That was bad. That was insulting, actually. Now, I did like this. And that was when Vecna was going through his memories, when Henry was going through his memories, and we did get that other little piece of information. Now, this I liked. And they say here that the rock that was in the briefcase, it is essential to the Stranger Things spinoff. Now, there are no plans for any spinoff for Joyce, Hopper, and anyone else. But I like the fact that they added this, because now you did leave me with at least a meaningful question, because I am curious, like, what's up with that rock? Where did y'all get that rock? Why was that scientist carrying that thing? Clearly, the government was up to more shenanigans, or whatever. But my question is, how did the government even know? How did that scientist even know what that rock was capable of? Because he was like, hey, don't give in. He was giving a warning. So I do think that gives some good material for a spin-off series to actually happen. So I do like that. Speaking of the spin-off, I believe there is a play that's out there. The play is supposed to be about when Henry was in school, and he was in school with Joyce and Hopper, I believe. But I think they don't remember him or something like that. But the Duffer Brothers, they say that the Stranger Things spinoff show is a completely different story in a completely different location with completely different actors and characters. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Now, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that it is somewhere in the future. I think that'd be kind of cool. If they go back further in the past, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I would like to see how this kind of plays out. And I mean, I feel like I hate to say this, but enough time has gone by where the 90s does feel a little retro. I hate to say that, as a 90s kid, but I wouldn't be mad if they did a little 90s show too. So I think that that could definitely work for them. Now regarding the spinoff, they did say here that they have started working on it. It's not going to be in Hawkins, no returning characters, different decade. Okay, so that's good. So maybe it's in the future, maybe it's in the past. It does not involve the Upside Down, and again, the mysterious rock will play a role some way, somehow. I'm okay with all that. I'm okay with that. I'm cool. Let's go with it. I am here for that. So you guys let me know, how did you feel about the season finale of Stranger Things? How did you feel about the news from the Duffer Brothers? Did this give you any closure? Did this help? Did it hurt? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Mo, what you got? L killed more people than Vecna. L was a G. L was a G. Listen, I knew L was not with it. She was not playing no games with people when she dealt with that one military dude and made him himself. I was just like, yeah, ain't no Eggo waffles gonna fix this. That girl L is gone. Like if she making you yourself, oh, that's yikes. So yeah, L was not playing at all. What's that? Duncan, what you got? The Avatar franchise feels insisted on all of us. It kind of is. But here's the thing, we still show up. Somebody gave it $1 billion. Somebody did, So it listen, James Cameron has not missed. You don't have to think that he's like the best, but even his worst movies, which I do think are one or two of the Avatar movies, he still has not missed. This man could go anywhere and be like, I can give you $1 billion movie. Now what? And you gonna jump. You gonna do it. Load. Finale was an example of Netflix not capitalizing. Yeah. I'm fair. Yeah, absolutely. One back to back. Thank you. What about we need that Sinclair siblings spinoff? I would be down with that. And you know what? Not even just that. What's up with the professor? Not the professor, the teacher, the science teacher. Like, y'all been teasing my man for a long time. You finally called him in to play in the fourth quarter. He dropped about 20 points in Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark came in at the last second, was like, pow, pow. He hit a couple clutch. He hit some clutch free throws, some 3-pointers in the last couple minutes. Y'all not going to get this man some more work? I'm saying, I think he earned it. Like that to me, you could do. I'm not saying he needs his own spinoff, but you can have Mr. Clark come back, especially with what he knows now. Okay, y'all playing. Dunk back again. The entire military subplot was infuriating. I didn't mind where they started with the military because it made sense, right? Papa was part of the military and they were doing these. It made sense. But yeah, the fact that they just kind of left it hanging, that was whack. That was whack. I was just like, that's it. Like, y'all was sitting here so ahead of everybody else with this and that, figuring things out, and then y'all just left. Y'all just said, our bad, bye-bye, we're out of here. Nah, miss me with that. Ooh. Regina, what you got? Hey, happy new year to you. Are you gonna review The Housemaid? I was boycotting because of Sydney Sweeney, and then Amanda Seyfried came through and stood on business. She did. I remember she did say some good stuff. And I don't, I understand. We called out Sydney. I called out Sydney Sweeney. What was that? A couple weeks ago. So I have not seen The Housemaid yet. I wasn't planning on reviewing it. If I get a chance to see it, I'll try, but I'll just say this: don't count on it, because I do have a lot of other stuff I gotta. Y'all don't understand. I have a lot of other stuff I have to work on, so I would say right now probably not. But I am interested in watching it because I did hear that they were going to that they greenlit a sequel and Sydney Sweeney's character is coming back. I didn't read the books. I don't know what happens in there, so I'm gonna try and go in there fresh. But I'll probably wait till it's on streaming, to be honest with you. Like, I don't see myself going to the theater for that. But I will see what happens. Natalie, what you got? Wanted to see Marty Supreme, but it was sold out. Darn. You know what? Thank you, Michael B. Jordan. Thank you, Sinners. Let's be honest. Nobody was going to be checking for Marty Supreme if it wasn't for the Sinners and Michael B. Jordan conversation. Nobody. Stop playing. I didn't listen. If I was not a voting member of Critics' Choice, I wasn't going to watch that movie. I had no intentions. But until, it started climbing the charts and then people were talking about it, I was like, all right, let me be fair. Let me watch it so at least I can vote with my conscience, So, yeah, I think that Marty Supreme, any success it has, should be attributed and give credit straight to Michael B. Jordan. I think that's what that is. Let's see. I said the same thing. Me and Emat, we locked it. We right here. We right here. I'm trying to get people in. I'm trying to get people in. We definitely locked in. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Magic, what you got? Don't be surprised if Millie is casted as Princess Leia for Star Wars in the future because she looks just like her. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's a good call. That's a very good call. I could totally see that. So yeah, I definitely could see that happening. Good call. Let's see. Regina, we will get to that in just a bit. Larry, what you got? Remember that movie Dutchman? Man, Larry, I was just going to talk to you about that because I do remember. Yes, you told me about the Dutchman. You recommended to me. Just saw the remake. I'd love to hear your review of it. It's kind of meta sequel. So new, but still true to the OG script. Terrific acting and ending that had my whole theater applauding. So I saw the Dutchman trailer pop up. I was like, dang, that's that movie Larry had me watch, because I was not gonna watch it. But you did give a great donation, and thank you for this too. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. But it is on my curiosity to-do list as well. I unfortunately don't remember the original Dutchman, so I think I need to either go back and look at my review when I talked about it to kind of jog my memory, or I just have to watch the original again. But yes, I do want to watch it. I'm actually watching Castle Rock right now on Netflix. It's a very hard watch because it's very slow. But I'm still on my Welcome to Derry trip. And the main actor, Andre, I forget his last name, but he's in there. And he plays in Dutchman as well. So it has my attention. Yeah, so yes, I do plan on watching it. So I will check that out for sure. Let's see, Natalie. Oh, definitely. I just don't want to be mad at the Oscars with no context if Sinners get snubbed. So I'll catch Marty on $5 Tuesday. I mean, streaming ain't bad either. Just saying, might be on streaming by that time too, But $5 Tuesday ain't bad. That ain't bad. But yeah, I understand. Listen. I said it before and I'll say it again. One of my biggest concerns is that sinners will get overlooked for one battle after another because the Academy, the voters, they're going to feel like, oh, we owe something to Paul Thomas Anderson. Because he's been looked over for so many years. Here you go. Ryan, you're young, you're talented, you'll make another good movie eventually someday. Like, I hate that mentality, but I feel like that's what's going to happen. So I'm not going to be the least bit surprised if Sinners does not win. I know, and here's the thing, they should win because you're going to see all the nominations. They should be nominated like through the roof. But when you get highly nominated, but you don't win nothing, like the main stuff, that lets you know something else is going on. And I do believe something else is going on. All right, so let's get rid of that. What are we going to talk about? No, don't want to talk about that. Not yet. Nope. Let's talk about. Where is it? Oh man, I don't have it. Okay, hold on. Let's pull this up. I don't know why this didn't pull up. All right, let me pull up this other topic. I don't know why this. 1 second, y'all. Okay. No, they don't really talk about nothing. All right, so we can just talk about it in general. So we do have an update here for the Batman Part 2. This is the one by Matt Reeves with Robert Pattinson's Batman. And previously, we had heard that Scarlett Johansson was going to be cast in this, and the rumor was that she was going to play Harvey Dent's wife, right? And of course, now the new news is that we might have actually found our Harvey Dent, and that is none other than our boy Bucky, aka Sebastian Stan, aka the Winter Soldier. He could be, at least according to Hollywood Reporter, he is our new Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face, in the Batman universe, in this Elseworlds universe. So, in addition to that, and I'll also throw in there Barry Keoghan, who played Joker at like whatever the last scene or whatever. He's also supposed to be coming back in the Batman 2. I just want to say I hate that first and foremost. Now, I know I shouldn't be pre-hating on nothing. I should wait and see, but Barry Keoghan, the way he looked. Oh, hold on, let me see if y'all remember how he looked in the movie. I am extremely nervous with how he's going to look and how he's going to act. Now, he is a good actor. He is a good actor. But like, look at this. Look at this. Like, this is what he looked like in there, And I'm sitting here like, I don't, do we need to see that face? Like, let me get out of here. Look at this. Like, what is this? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Like, it just, it's giving me Joker that's trying too hard. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Now, again, he's a great actor. Matt Reeves is a great director. I don't think they're going to put out some garbage or anything, but I'm just going off of the looks. I don't know. So anyway, shout out to Sebastian Stan for, becoming the Harvey Dent. I do like this casting. I think that, this is going to really challenge him because you're going to have to play a sensible guy, which I'm sure he can do, and then you're going to have to play a psycho. And I don't think we've really seen him play a psycho. Now, we've seen him be Winter Soldier, but he was quiet and deadly. That ain't the same. Now I know my man Bucky with the knife. You know what I'm saying? Bucky with the knife. Even listen, now you got to take the knife down and give him a coin. You got to let this man. He got to be good with the coin. I need to see him do the flips too, like the interfinger flips. I can't do it, but that'll be really cool. I like the idea of him playing Two-Face. Now, if you've been following, I put that theory out there a long time ago. Long time. Last year, after Penguin, what did I say? I sat here and said, if you're going to do another Batman villain, the best one to do would be Two-Face. Now, I didn't say to put him in the movie. I thought they was going to do like an actual TV series, but hey, I feel like this could work. Now, I do think this was a little misleading because Matt Reeves did say that they were going to put a villain out there that hasn't really been done. Two-Face has been done. Tommy Lee Jones did Two-Face already. So I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, y'all going to do Victor Zsasz or y'all going to do Calendar Man? Like, what? Are you going to do some other character, But I did hear, I forget where I heard it, but somebody did put out there that, you don't just go get Jennifer, ScarJo. You don't go get her for no reason. What if there's a twist? What if Harvey Dent is not Two-Face? What if it's actually Scarlett Johansson's character? What if she becomes the female version of Two-Face? I'm sure nobody will be mad about that. Right? No, like no one. They're not going to be mad. Right? No one's going to be mad over a DEI Scarface, Two-Face, right? Like no one will have a problem with that, right? I think that'd be dope. I think that would be really interesting. Now, I do have a problem with the fact that I don't really like, I need Batman to fight Two-Face, but Two-Face ain't no real fighter. He's just a mobster. But I'm with it. I'm with it. If you want to give me a ScarJo Two-Face, it's definitely going to be very conflicting because, ScarJo got a nice face. It's going to be real weird looking at a disfigured face and stuff. What are we doing? It's confusing the mind, but we shall see. We shall see. You guys let me know. What do you think about Sebastian Stan playing Harvey Dent, ScarJo playing his wife, maybe as another Two-Face? What do you think about Barry Keoghan coming back as Joker? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Ooh, Regina, what you got here? Debbie Allen does Oscar show choreography, right? She does. It would be awesome if Miles sang I Lied to You, recreating the juke joint scene. Ooh. First of all, let me just say, the Oscars doesn't deserve it. The Oscars does not deserve to have that kind of goodness unless Sinners wins best movie, best picture. That's it. Because what that reminds me of is Beyonce going to the Grammys, winning, like having the performing and not winning. Taylor Swift ends up winning instead. No, the Oscars does not deserve to have Sinners put on a show for them like that. Absolutely not. I would love to see it. You know what? Do that at the BET Awards, where I know Sinners is going to get the love that they deserve. Do it there. Let them watch that way. Don't give them that whole performance because listen, first of all, I just want to say at any point, if they recreate the juke scene, and if Juvenile comes out for the 99 in the 2000s, if I don't have a invitation, even if I don't have an invitation, I'm gonna go crazy. That would be amazing if they did that. That would be amazing. Somebody needs to put that out there. Listen, whoever's out there, dear Academy, I need a seat. Okay, put me right next to. Put me in the back. I'll be fine. Put me in the back. That would be amazing. That would be amazing if they recreated the, because you know what? That's BET would do it. BET would do that. Okay, BET. I'm putting this out there right now. Juke joint scene, recreate it, put Juvenile in there. You will have a ratings boom. Please. Okay, let's do it. Let's make this happen. I need to clip this and put that out there for the BET. Somebody needs to do this. There's money on the table. Okay, we will show up. And I need Juvenile to show up. I want him to actually be there too. He needs to be in the juke scene as well. Oh, man. Great job, Regina. Thank you so much for that. Great job. And yes, it is true. He will play Harvey Dent. Thank you so much again. Ooh, magic. Will Bill Skarsgård be a good pick for Joker? Yes. Yes, he would. Bill Skarsgård, if you've seen his work over the years, he's a character actor. He is the kind of guy where it's like you don't need to see his face, but his performance can do everything. He's actually my pick. If there were to be a Joker for the DCU, Bill Skarsgård is my pick for that. And think about this. Andy Muschietti is doing the Batman Brave and the Bold, right? He just did Welcome to Derry. He knows Bill Skarsgård. He's worked with him. Listen, there is no better pick to play the Joker right now than Bill Skarsgård. He will cook. He will deep fry and sizzle that whole role. You have no idea. That, like, you have to understand, this man did Pennywise, he did Nosferatu, and those are two completely different characters. You couldn't even tell nothing about those characters. That's called range. This man has range for days. He will eat up the Joker role. I'm telling you that. Telling you. But yes, he would be a tall Joker as well. Thank you so much. But yeah, he would be a great pick. Great pick. What's that? Becky played Trump already. So I think he could or Bucky played Trump already. So I think he could play a psychopath. Just got that. Good job. He does have range, though. He does have the range to make that work. I will say that. He can make that work as an actor. Yes. Okay. We're going to do, let me pull this up. We're going to talk about Avengers, Doomsday, and then we will talk about Blade. I know y'all was thirsty for it. We will talk about Blade, and then we'll talk about Black Panther. Okay, that's the order we're gonna go in before I wrap it up for you guys. So, Avengers Doomsday, we have gotten a whole bunch of trailers and teasers so far. I do not have the latest teaser that has not been officially released yet. That was and we'll talk about that later. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen the Captain America one already, where he's got a little baby Cap out there. And I'm pretty sure most of you have seen, at least by now, the one with Thor, with his daughter Love. I've already given you guys my theories on the Captain America one. If you haven't seen it, please go watch my videos. And the Thor one, to be honest, I had very little to think about that. The one thing that I will say, I like the theory that other people were talking about, which was there seemed to be a common theme going on showing Avengers and their children. So the way the theory goes is you had Dr. Doom, the Robert Downey Dr. Doom, visiting Franklin Richards in that other universe. And then the theory is that he's going to go around kidnapping all these Avengers kids. Now, why would he be doing that? It could be for a number of different reasons. Maybe he just needs powerful kids because if you think about it, these kids are not normal, right? Love is a cosmic being. Franklin Richards is probably beyond a cosmic being. Cap Jr. That's the first super soldier kid, I guess, in a way. So, oh wait, no, did Isaiah Bradley have kids? Was that his grandkid? No. So I guess that wouldn't be the first one. If Isaiah Bradley had oh no. Maybe it wasn't his direct son. I don't know. Either way. So maybe there's a kidnapping thing going on. It's also possible that Doom could have captured Wanda's kids. Remember Scarlet Witch? Maybe he captured her kids because her kids are kind of sort of alive, but not really, but they're not real, but they're kind of real, whatever. So maybe they're the reasons why the incursions began. Cap not putting the Soul Stone back, or Wanda creating kids that really shouldn't exist, or Franklin Richards just because he's weird and whatever. So just like Vecna in Stranger Things, maybe that's what's happening here too. We don't know. But we did get another trailer, which I do believe I can play. At least YouTube didn't hit me with this one. Let me see. Can I do this one? Yes. Okay. So this is the X-Men one. So I wanted to at least watch it with you guys. We can go ahead and check this one out together. But of course, let's do it properly first. All right. All right. So let's check out this new X-Men trailer. Most of you probably already seen it, but let's check it out again.
Death comes for us all. That's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes?
X and Mag. All right. So, and I'm sure a bunch of people already hyper analyze this and look through everything. Listen, if you look in the background, it's them big old sentinels walking around 9 times out of 10. And, if I had to just sit here and speculate, 9 times out of 10, Cyclops is shooting that big of a beam at another sentinel. If you look at the scaling, you look at the size, he is shooting all of that at a sentinel. He's by himself. Okay, he is by himself. Usually in the comics and stuff like that, when he's the last man standing, everybody else finna die. I am under the impression that what you are seeing right now is the actual death of a variant of Cyclops. And I've said this before, I'm not going to get very attached to a lot of characters because it's the multiverse. you might end up seeing 2-3 different types of Cyclopses. Right? When was the last time you ever saw the live action blue and yellow Cyclops? Never. And I love it. I love it. But I feel like this is that Cyclops who's dropping on his knees. And if he's not saying, Gene, he's about to die. And he's just going all out. He's going all out. So now I do think that, it's also kind of messed up. Why y'all finna die? And y'all out here playing chess. Y'all playing chess and holding hands. This reminds me of Days of the Future Past. Like at some point, they just gonna be like, you know what, we out of here. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was just saying, like, the crazy thing with the X-Men is that you can't have X-Men without them going through some nonsense, pain, and death. Because do y'all remember during X-Men 97? They couldn't have one day. You got about 24 to 48 hours if you are an X-Men or if you're a mutant to have any type of fun. Because the second you have too much of a good time, the humans are going to be like, are those mutants having fun? Are those mutants enjoying life? Not on my watch. And y'all got to die. Like, y'all ain't no struggle. Y'all got to die. Y'all remember what happened at Genosha, right? If my comic fans, y'all know what happened on Krakoa. They had a whole island by themselves, chilling, peaceful, away from humanity. And humans said, die. Every mutant die right now. You cannot be an X-Men and be happy. So this trailer right here, all it's giving me is the vibes that, yeah, all y'all finna die again. Cyclops, thanks for the time. Thanks for the good times, bro. Thank you for catching Jean every time, she fainted and all of that. Listen, y'all don't see Wolverine now. Where's Storm? Where's Jubilee? Where's Gambit? Never forget, y'all don't have nobody around. They finna die. I'm telling you, I have this in my mind. I just see him doing this blast on this Sentinel, and you just see a big old foot stomping Cyclops right there. Right there. Like, that's the way I think it's going to happen. And then we're probably going to jump in to other X-Men, from other universes or whatever. Like, this could be a flashback type of scene or something, but I don't know. What did you guys think about the trailer? How did you feel about it? Feel free to let me know. But we do have some more news on Avengers Doomsday. Here's the thing. You saw that it said that it was going to come out December 18th of this year, 2026. It's got some competition because it's not going to be the only movie coming out on December 18th. Dune Part 3 is also coming out on December 18th. Now, I said from the jump, man, one of y'all movies going to have to move. And I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to be Avengers. Avengers ain't going to move because everybody knows when both of them movies come out, people going to be like, Dune Part 3, Avengers. Avengers. They going to go watch Avengers. So the reasonable thing to do is to just move. Dude, just move. Okay? Ain't nobody gonna be mad, bro. Just, take your butt to summer or something. You know what I'm saying? Avengers is here. Move over. Doom said, nah, I'm not leaving. Doom said, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Because Warner Brothers is reportedly planning to stick with keeping Dune 3 on the same release date as Avengers Doomsday. Both of them going to come out on December 18th, 2026. Yikes. I did not have Dune 3 playing chicken with Avengers Doomsday on my 2026 bingo card. I will watch both. I mean, I will watch both. But the fact that y'all don't want to move, okay. Okay. I am willing to bet the closer we get, Doom finna move. let Doomsday. Here's the thing. We've only gotten teasers for Avengers Doomsday. Only teasers, which means we still have not gotten the full trailer yet. I'm willing to bet when that full trailer drops, when that full trailer gets 60 million views in 24 hours, Doom gonna be like, oh man, I was just playing, man. We was just keeping Doom. We was keeping December 18th warm for you. That's all, man. Man, March ain't that bad. May 2nd, that ain't too bad of a date, man. Move your butt over there to the summer and enjoy that hot sun, please. Thinking y'all was gonna come out on December. You think you was gonna outshine Avengers? Please. So it was cute. It was nice, but they trying to hold it down. They're trying, but we'll see. Who else? So again, I told y'all, multiverse, multiple characters. Haley Atwell, she's reportedly, and this is a rumor, but she's going to be playing multiple characters in Avengers Doomsday. Well, multiple sounds like she'll play Peggy Carter, like the one from Cap's timeline where he had the kid, and then she'll probably come in as Captain Carter, or Captain whatever she is. What is she? Captain Carter, Agent, whatever she is now, right? She'll probably come in that way. So like, all right, whatever, like everybody's gonna have multiple roles coming in. This is gonna be a buffet of variants doing variant things. Fine. And listen, we probably gonna have all the Spider-Man again. We're gonna have it's all hands on deck. Okay, let's stop trying to act surprised. We know the deal. It's all hands on deck. Let's go. Matter of fact, Tom Hiddleston, aka Loki, he was doing some interviews, and he had a couple things to say as well. One of those things, he talked about being Loki, and obviously he didn't give too much up, but he did say one thing, we of course have to address. Tom Hiddleston on Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, he said, we're all kind of here, here, because of Tobey Maguire in a way. That film was the beginning of where we are. How can I put this nicely? Hell no. Hell to the no. Tom Hiddleston, you just said that the comic book movies and stuff are here because of Tobey Maguire. I've already told y'all, Tobey is the GOAT Spider-Man for me. But you would not even have a Spider-Man. You would not even have a Marvel if it was not for Blade. I told y'all before this. The Daywalker had to walk so that Iron Man could fly. Okay? Spider-Man wouldn't have had no web slinging, no web goo in his shooters or nothing if Blade did not make sure that Marvel was going to avoid bankruptcy, which I'm not going to do is sit here and try and rewrite history. I'm not saying that's what Tom Hiddleston did. He probably made an honest mistake. However, he should be corrected on this. Even Kevin Feige acknowledged there would be no MCU if Blade didn't do what it did. Okay? We wouldn't have the X-Men. We wouldn't have Spider-Man if Blade did not prove at that time when comic book movies were struggling, if Blade did not prove that, yes, there's money to be made here and give other franchises the courage to keep on going and for Marvel not to go bankrupt. So no, sir. I need you to understand. And shame on whoever was interviewing him for not correcting him on the spot. Yes, I understand Spider-Man has impact, but you can't have impact if you don't even have the starting, if you're not even in the starting position to get going. So you put that respect on Blade. Blade did that. Thank you very much. Anyway, he had some crazy things to say. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. But that's all we got for the Avengers Doomsday. You guys let me know. How are you feeling about the teasers? How are you feeling about the variants, the characters that are coming up? Whatever you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. See, Loki thought that once he was able to write all these stories, he could rewrite. Nah, bro. Nah, you're not doing that. We won't forget. We will not forget. Tony, what you got? Cameron's bad film is Piranha 2, The Spawning, but to be fair, he was fired halfway shooting the film. French producer took over as the director. So Cameron has actually talked about that. He didn't direct it. He was like, and they never took his name off the credits. So, for him, he's like, I don't even know why that movie's attached to me. Like, I didn't direct it. I didn't get to do it. So I don't think I can really credit him for that being a bad movie if he didn't fully direct it, or, like, I don't know why it's attached to him at all, but, so I do understand where you're coming from. Like, it is technically like on his resume, but the man didn't direct it. So I can't really say that's like his bad movie, but thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Duck, what you got? For the love of God, please do right by Cyclops. We'll see. I still think he getting smashed. I think that sentinel foot coming right there on the screen, and we just gonna be sitting there like, y'all done killed Cyclops again. Y'all know the Russo brothers don't care. They don't care. They're not your friends. They're not your friends. Archer, Marvel with the Sagat laugh on Doom, WB. Yes, they will absolutely hit him with the Sagat laugh. Absolutely. I still need that. I need to find the Sagat laugh. I want that on a shirt. I want that so bad. I tried to get it before, but it didn't come out right. JN, Tom is British. He don't know nothing. I know. That's why I want. Listen, I met Tom once. Super nice guy. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. He just needs to be corrected. That's all. You can have your opinions, but you can't have your own facts. Okay, I'm sorry. Blade started that. That's what it is. All right. 60 plus. What you got? My hometown folks would lose it if Juvenile would perform. Back that A up at the BET Awards. You need a seat at the center table right next to MBJ. Love your interview with him. Thank you so much. Yeah, listen, that'd be great. That would be a pleasure and honor if they could do it. I feel like that should be something that should absolutely happen. But we'll see. The honors don't, the Oscars just don't deserve it. That's all. Like, I would be so mad if the Oscars ended up having that beautiful moment. And even if you had Juvenile show up and you had all the people in the audience like, who's that? Is that 50 Cent's cousin? Like, who's that? Like, I'd be so pissed if they just did not appreciate what that song means to the culture and how perfect that. Ooh, no, I'd be so mad. So that I just don't want it wasted there. I'd rather them just like, Miles, Ryan, Michael B. Like, if y'all listening, if the Oscars ask you to do it, tell them no. Tell them no, and say that you're gonna say that for BET, or just some other black something else. Bring it to the Source Awards. I don't know if they still do that. I'm just saying, don't do it at the Oscars because they don't deserve you. All right, what else do we have? All right, let's do this because I know y'all wanted this anyway. Blade. Blade. To go through the history of the ups and downs that we have had with Blade would take too long. You can go through all my different videos. You can see all the different things I've talked about. But Blade has been, for whatever reason, one of the most troubled Marvel non-products to date. And let me be clear. The reason why Blade is a problem is not because of its own doing. Movies, TV shows have always had the potential of being made, going through production hell, and never being made. That's not new. That is not a new phenomenon. I need people to understand. Blade is not some new phenomenon of like, oh man, there's something that just can't get done. This happens more often than you think. However, the differing factor here is that Marvel, Kevin Feige, y'all went out your way to bring out Mahershala Ali, bring this man on stage, and have a whole announcement that Blade was coming to the MCU and that a movie was happening. That is where the source of frustration comes in. As Kevin Garnett would say in Uncut Gems, how the F you gonna show me something and then tell me I can't have it? Where is Blade? That's the problem. You got our hopes up. You made it a whole production. You made a whole, presentation. And then all of a sudden, nothing. So this is why, that I would say that's my bigger frustration. But the other frustration is you have been dragging your feet in terms of like making this movie. And I've said this before, it makes no sense why a Blade movie, just the concept, would be anywhere near difficult to put together, because no one is asking for this to be great. No one is asking for this to be some elaborate big production show. You can make this a low budget film. People want just the bare minimum with Blade. You got Blade, you got vampires, you got action, you got blood, you got some cussing. That's it. We don't need no multiverse story. We don't need no, 15 different actors coming in. We don't need all of that. This has got to be the easiest layup y'all could make. But the fact that this has been dragged on, and the fact that, according to Kevin Feige, and I'm going to paraphrase, you're waiting for the similar type of magic that you had with Hugh Jackman coming to Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, yo, Wesley Snipes is right there. What more magic do you need? You have it right there. If you have to force the multiverse stuff, Wesley Snipes is right there. You saw the proof. The proof was in the pudding when he showed up in Deadpool and Wolverine. So it's like the excuses are not adding up. They're not making sense. And I don't want to hear about no blame on Mahershala Ali, because this man is the one that gave you the idea in the first place. According to reports, he came to you, which lets me know that you had no plans for Blade. You didn't want to do Blade. It wasn't on your mind at all. You wanted to go do Eternals. Why? Didn't nobody want that. We definitely wanted Blade. So don't put this on Mahershala when he was the one that gave you the idea in the first place. And now you want to over perfect this thing. And now, unfortunately, we're getting these rumors of like the director leaves, then this writer leaves, then another director comes on, but then that happens and this happens. We're getting all these freaking excuses. And of course, now we have to deal with the latest rumor, which is that Blade is now officially canceled, or that Marvel is just not planning on continuing with a solo Blade movie. That's the current rumor right now. And that comes from Jeff Snyder, who has been pretty reliable. He has been pretty reliable. But I suppose there's a small caveat to this. There's a small little glimmer of hope. And that is that Marvel will, at least, instead of doing a solo Blade movie, they're going to pivot and do a Midnight Suns movie instead. The idea of not doing a solo Blade movie and instead doing a Midnight Suns movie, to me, is kind of like a mismanagement of money. It's a mismanagement of good business. Blade on its own was going to be successful, and I'm tired. I'm so tired of the industry. I'm not going to say it's just Kevin Feige. I'm going to say this is an industry thing. I'm tired of y'all doubting Black potential. How many times do you have to see Black people, Black culture tell you this is something we want, this is something we like, and we literally, when they say, oh, this is the new Black culture literally makes things cool. You know why? Because we're not part of the status quo. That's the advantage of being a minority. When you're a minority, you're not part of doing what everybody else is doing. So when you do something different, by definition, it is cool. So when Black folks tell you, give us Blade, you don't think we gonna prop that sucker up? You don't think we gonna do the watch parties? We gonna do the cosplay? We gonna do the videos? We gonna do the memes? We gonna do the songs? You don't think we're gonna do everything that the industry and culture already leeches off of anyway? When I tell you, don't you want all the money? I'm not saying that rhetorically. Seriously, Blade is where the money resides. But now you want to put him in an ensemble movie because that's what Midnight Suns is going to be. I know y'all going to do everything to make Blade just a side character. Just like you did in Marvel Zombies, which, by the way, can you please read the room? Blade, or Moon Knight Blade, was one of the best parts. That was what, the moment they showed the trailer, everybody was like, look at that Blade. Look at that dope scene with Blade. Nobody was asking about all the other characters, and nobody cared. It was about Moon Knight Blade. How many times do you have to ignore a good thing? It reminds me, and this is not shade per se, but it reminds me of the nonsense with the Russo brothers when they was like, we had no idea Black Panther was going to be a big deal when we were making Infinity War. I know you don't. I need you to talk to more Black people. You know, I just need you to be a little bit more in tune with Black culture. Just try. Maybe, I don't know, invite more Black influencers because we kind of define culture too. We have a pulse on these things. Listen, I ain't even going to try and brag. And this is a little side note. Before Sinners came out, and I'm just saying this now, I told WB straight up, that thing, before we had a trailer, before, I was like, listen, that thing right there, Sinners, with Michael B. Jordan, we didn't even know, I didn't even know the name of it yet. I was like, that's going to be a thing. I called it at that time. Do y'all think it was a coincidence that we were covering Sinners before it came out? Y'all remember every time there was news about this Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler's secret project, it was like, wait a minute, vampires? Wait a minute, during the Jim Crow era? Wait a minute, with that, we knew that it was something there. I'm sorry. I'm getting frustrated because, especially given current world events, I'm really tired of the world proving time and time again that Black people don't know what we're talking about. I'd love for somebody, and I don't even care if you want to go into politics. I don't care whatever realm you want, movies, culture, whatever you want to go. Tell me when Black people been wrong. Like, when have we like called something out and was like, this is it. This is wrong. Or this is going to be great. And when have we been wrong with that? I'm not saying we perfect. Not saying that at all. But I think we at least at 80%. I think we at least at an 80% with a hit rate. I'm pretty sure. Just trust us. That's all I'm saying. Trust us. You can't go wrong. So anyway, yes, we might get this Midnight Suns or whatever, and Yes, they probably will give Blade a really cool scene or whatever, but I don't care how you shake it. If you're not giving this character a solo movie, and yes, y'all wasted what, 2019? Y'all wasted 6 years of Mahershala Ali's career, talent, and life by not doing this, by not making this movie. And that's money on the table. Y'all literally could have had 2 movies already by this time. Y'all could have been on Blade 2 already by this time. But you wanted to overcomplicate it. You wanted to do too much when nobody asked for all that. You could have given us just a straight up mini special or something. Something. And what have I been saying also? All you gave us was Mahershala Ali as a voice in Eternals. You couldn't have him pop up nowhere else. He couldn't have popped up like in any other movie. You couldn't have put him in a Doctor Strange movie. You couldn't have put him in nothing else. I'm saying if you're not going to give us a solo, you could have been sprinkling him in a long time ago, all this time. It's just, I don't know why y'all don't like money. Anyway, you guys let me know. What do you think about this? Again, this is a rumor. Actions are starting to speak louder than words. And at this point, we have a whole lot of non-action from Marvel. Blade canceled, but it can shift over to Midnight Suns instead. Do you like that pivot? Is something better than nothing? Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm tired. It's done got me frustrated. Blue, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much, man. Hope the E-Man fam been well. They definitely have, hopefully. Sinners better clean up at the Black Awards. The Choice Awards was the Macklemore and Kendrick Lamar all over again. Shout out to everyone, though. All what a waste of Blade. Yeah. Also, yeah. I think that Sinners should clean up at Black Awards. Like, you have to also consider like the voting body. Even though, and I didn't go into this in my other videos, even though we have, Oscar So White happen, I need people to understand that like they made a push for diversity, but it was like, hey, we doubled our number in diversity Academy people. They went from 6% to like 12. And within that 12% is still like white women, black women, black men, Asians, Latino, brown skin. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not that big of a leap of diversity when your academy goes up to like 12%, a little bit more diverse. Like, thank you, I guess. So, it is what it is with that. But yeah, they should definitely clean up. I think they should clean up. Let's see. Archer, what kind of magic was they trying to find with F4? Should have kept that same energy. If you can sit here and give me Thunderbolts, if you can sit here and give me Fantastic Four, which again, we're not deep. These were not deep movies. You absolutely could give somebody a Blade. Absolutely. No question. Doggy Bone, what you got? Honestly, at this point, Ali is getting up there in age. It's like a 12-year difference between Ali 51 and Snipes 63. I suggest Trevante Rhodes. I'm fine with it. I mean, honestly, I was cool with Snipes, like when he showed up. I personally still think Ali could keep doing it, but sure. Like, I just want Blade to happen. I'm not tied to the idea that it has to be Ali. I definitely am not tied that it has to be Snipes. I want Blade to show up, to have his stake in the MCU, just period. Yeah, I want that. Mike, what you got? The audacity to disrespect your elders in this way, but I seen this coming a long time ago after the first delay. To hell with it. It ain't gonna hit the same now. It might not. Because again, if you had never told us that Blade was coming, if we had never gotten it, things are all of this is because they shaped our expectations. And when you shape the expectations, now the responsibility falls on you. It falls back on you. Like, you're the one that told us that we were getting Mahershala Ali. And then 7-8 years later, nothing except a voice. You did that. That's not fans. That's not fans being unreasonable or crazy or whatever. You did that. Dog. Also, I don't know if you mentioned this, but there was a hint to Monkey Paw. Jordan Peele was directing an MCU movie. What's the validity of that? The only it was a report, but the only report was just that Marvel wants him to direct something. I don't even think that's newsworthy. Like, duh. You know what I'm saying? Like, Marvel will absolutely want anyone that's a quality director to direct an MCU movie. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, that doesn't surprise me at all. Now, was it specifically for Blade? Don't know. I would have loved if Jordan Peele would have done Blade. I'd be fine if he wanted to do Midnight Suns. I'd be fine if he wanted to do anything in Marvel, in general. So, but yeah, no, there is some validity to the idea that yes, they were interested in, at least according to reporting, that they would like Jordan Peele to come and direct something. Um, let's see, Archer. All Marvel has to do is modernize Sinners with a good story and add Blade in it. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. Yeah, 100%. That's it. It's not that difficult. Okay, guys, let's get to the last topic. We have a Black Panther update, kind of, sort of ish. As I mentioned before, we've been getting a whole bunch of Avengers Doomsday teasers. There were supposedly 4 different teasers. We had the Cap, we had the Thor, we had the X-Men, and then of course the 4th one was going to be a Black Panther one. In case you haven't seen it, it's currently in theaters right now. But it has not officially come out yet, so I can't play it for you legally. But I do have, like, just a quick transcript and description, and it includes Shuri walking in some desert or whatever with King M'Baku. You do see Namor there. And Shuri is walking around and she's saying, I've lost everyone that matters to me. The king has his duties to prepare our people for the afterlife. I have mine. Now, I don't know what her duties are. I mean, she is the Black Panther, so she is the protector of Wakanda. Does not mean that you have to be the king and the protector or queen. And we do know that she's referring to the fact that she has lost her brother, and she's lost her father, she's lost her mother, she's lost, her brother T'Challa. And yeah, and she gave up the throne. I have to be very honest with y'all. I completely forgot the end of Wakanda Forever. Like, when I was like, King M'Baku, what? I know, like, we've had our issues with the whole Black Panther franchise after Chadwick's passing. I completely forgot that she gave the throne up to him and all. Like, I feel like all that trauma, I kind of put the movie out my head. I forgot about, Queen Ramonda dying. I was just like, I'm really hoping that everything just gets erased. Really hoping it just gets erased and they just start over. That's what I'm hoping, but we'll see. Anyway, then you have M'Baku. Says King M'Baku. He's introducing himself to Ben Grimm, of course, from Fantastic Four. And Ben says, yes, Ben, Yancey Street between Broome and Grand. And this is him interacting together. So something happens where Fantastic Four clearly meet the version of Wakandans in our world. We don't know how, why they come here, but apparently they do. And yeah, so we're clearly going to get a lot of characters crossing over, meeting each other. This is that now what I'm looking for right now at this point. I want Shuri and Reed Richards to have a conversation. I love that. I loved it when Shuri was talking to Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, and she was already like, "Why didn't you just cross the neuro?" Love it. I'm here for it. But I do want to see Reed and Shuri get down, and talk science back and forth. I like the nerd talk in comic stuff. I like that. The question I do wonder is like, what is Namor about to do with all this? Like, is he cool? Like, is he gonna be on some BS? Because if you remember in the comics, when Shuri was Black Panther, she also had some other beef with Namor too. Like they wasn't all that cool either, So we'll have to wait and see. Now, before anybody even asks me, no, there are no valid rumors that are substantiated about Damson Idris becoming T'Challa Jr. or whatever. Like, if anything, that's more fan speculation. I'm very, very good with Damson coming in and playing, hopefully, T'Challa, no Junior, but nothing credible so far has been backed up by that. So please don't just fall for the hype. At least wait till it comes from more reputable sites. Just because somebody makes an image on Instagram or whatever does not mean that it's actually true. So please don't let them get your hopes up with stuff. Not yet. Not to say that it can't happen. It can happen, but there is nothing there yet. So just hold on. And just to kind of wrap it all up, Ryan Coogler did an interview and he actually gave a little bit more insight on what the original Black Panther 2 script was supposed to be before Chadwick passed away. And he gave us a description on what that was going to look like. He says here the big thing with the script was a thing called the Ritual of Eight, where a prince is 8 years old. He must spend 8 days in the bush with his father. The rule is for those 8 days, the prince can ask the father any question and the father must answer. In the course of those 8 days, Namor launches an attack. He had to deal with someone who's insanely dangerous, but because of the ritual, his son had to be joined at his hip the whole time, or else they'd violate this ritual that had never been broken. It was insane. Chadwick was going to kill it, but life goes as it goes. Ah. So that was what he had prepared. That was the original concept that he was going for. I do believe that he was able to give Chadwick the script to read it, but of course, Chadwick was fighting cancer at that time. And he did say that Chadwick loved the script, um, but he was obviously too weak. And, um, you know, at the time, Coogler didn't know, that he was sick for real, and didn't think nothing about it. But this does line up. I mean, we knew when it was happening that there were two different scripts, right? Like they clearly got blindsided with chat because nobody knew. Nobody in Marvel knew. Kevin Feige found out when he passed away. Like, they didn't. That was not he. Chadwick did not reveal that. He was very close guarded. Like only his very close family knew about it. Um, but Ryan didn't know, Feige didn't know, Nate Moore didn't know. They found out like, when it happened, when he passed away. So Ryan did end up. So what we got in Wakanda Forever was not what was supposed to happen. I'm still a little iffy about the idea of him having a kid, But if you were to ask me, like, hey, would you have taken that old script versus what we got now? Absolutely, I would have taken that old script. Recasted T'Challa, still let him have his little junior son, and go forward with that old script. I would have still been better with that. Take the delay, take your time, of course, be respectful, but that old script did not need to be changed, in my opinion, because I did like that idea. You have to understand, like, Ryan is a writer first and then a director. The idea of him saying, like, in this ritual, the son can ask him anything and the father must answer, that is giving me the indication that you was going to have that son ask some very poignant questions. There was going to be something very just meaningful and impactful. And we know Ryan is a really solid writer, especially when it comes to dialogue. So I would have really looked forward to hearing and seeing what that would have looked like. Um, and seeing how does T'Challa deal with being a king and a father and the Black Panther all at once. Like, that would have made and added so much depth to his character. And I think only Chadwick would have really been able to deliver on something that big of a task. So but here we are. Here we are. So anyway, guys, you guys let me know, what did you think about the original Black Panther 2 script? Would you have preferred that? Are you okay? Maybe you're fine with the fact that we moved on and life went on. How are you feeling about the Avengers teaser with Shuri and M'Baku and the Thing? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Grab these. Hey there, look at that. We don't know. We don't know. I can tell you this though, like, I will do my best to find out. I cannot say how or why, but I will do my best to find out. If now, listen, if a Daniel RPK comes out with something, if a Jeff Snyder, so far those are the only two that I kind of think are a little bit more reliable with their rumors. If they come out and say something like that, I'll go with it. But if it's just some random website out there, not, they're looking for clicks. They're looking for clicks. They're looking for views. They'll be like, oh, well, my dry cleaner, they told me that they saw Damson in a black suit and they had purple in it. So he must be, like, just try not to get the hopes up. Try not to. Please don't. Um, you know, but anyway, like, there are, some people do know some things, but I don't want us to go back to what happened when Infinity War came out. When Infinity War came out, let's not forget the overhyped sensationalism that was happening left and right. All them other channels y'all be watching was sending y'all off. Remember how they told y'all there was going to be another Iron Man? What happened with that? Remember they told you, oh yeah, and Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, there's going to be a Tony Stark that's going to go, play by Tom Cruise and all that. Remember they be sending y'all off so bad, getting y'all hopes up, making y'all sit here and think, oh yeah, actually in Infinity War, Loki really is he's the Hulk the whole time, and Loki's not really dead. And I sat here and told y'all, stop listening to them. I told y'all, I try to protect your entertainment, because when y'all expectations go through the roof because somebody gaslit you up and they gas you up thinking that this gonna happen, and this gonna happen, and this gonna happen, and then when it don't happen, you mad at the movie. You mad at the movie because it didn't raise up to level 15 that these other channels stole your views with, stole your attention with. Just protect your peace. That's all I'm trying to say. Protect your peace. Don't get your hopes up. Wait until it's okay to get that reliable, more succinct, information when it comes out. And again, if I can confirm it, I got y'all. I promise you that. Yeah, I promise you that. If I can get the information, I will let y'all know, because the last thing I will ever do is mislead y'all. I will never mislead. If y'all misled, it's because I'm misled. But I'm gonna do my best not to get misled. Okay. So yeah, we just I don't want us to get too hyped up. That's all. What did I used to say? Speculate with no weight. You can guess, you can have fun with it. Don't put no weight on that. Don't put no weight. I have suppressed Wakanda forever. I understand. I understand. I get it. I'm with you. I'm with you. Thank you so much for that, Mike. So basically, anytime Marvel says anything about us, we just need to say she. Yeah, man. R.I.P. my G, just to go out tonight with a shout out. Yeah, man. Perfectly. Perfectly. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yes. Yes. I mean, at this point, I'm still like, okay. Midnight Suns, huh? Right. Let's see. Tony, fan of the director George A. Romero and his films. Nice, nice. I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I respect George. I respect him. Um, but I didn't like that. What was that? It was one of those Mad Max ones. I wasn't too Furiosa. Wasn't a fan of Furiosa. Not at all. Not at all. But shout out to him. George is definitely a legend in the game. King Chad, what you got? I was right behind Nate and Kevin at Chad's ceremony. I was the only person with a recast sign. Hey, way to represent. Maybe they saw it, but if they did, I have a Star Wars bad feeling about them. They are on the dark side like Anakin. Oh man. Thank you for that, man. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not going to say, and I've said this from the beginning. When it comes to recast T'Challa, when it comes to the decisions Ryan Coogler and the cast and crew made, I'm not going to sit here and say that anybody is wrong or evil or anything like that. We have a stark difference of opinion. And as I said in the beginning, and I'll continue saying it, it's just like if you were in a family and you lost a loved one, and you have different members of the family trying to figure out, how do we best honor this person? If one person's like, yo, let's throw a big old party. And if the other person's like, nah, let's just kind of take a moment of silence. There's not really a right or wrong answer with that. You could definitely disagree. Be like, nah, we don't want a party because they didn't like parties. Or nah, we want a moment of silence. It's just a difference of opinion. So I don't want to disparage them or anything like that, because they lost a friend too. They lost a brother too, and they were probably even closer to Chad than we ever will be. So, again, I will respectfully disagree, and definitely think that they could go in a different direction. But I'm not gonna assign them any negative motives. But thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. E-Man's New Year's resolutions are like media literacy and diversity. Listen, I want the best. I want the diversity. I want us to be definitely more literate. Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, you nailed it. You nailed it. Let's see. Nerdy, what you got? Coogler was on Josh Horowitz podcast, and he flat out asked Ryan why go back to the Black Panther franchise after Sinners. Many just want him to keep creating original ideas. Thoughts? You know what? I'll say this. I talked to Ryan, and unfortunately, this was the interview that I did with him before, when I told him we were good with a variant. I told him, but they wouldn't let me record this one. Like, I had to just take notes on it. In my conversation with him, Ryan is really proud. He's really, really proud of what he's achieved with putting Black Panther on the map. And he's right. Again, we can have a difference of opinion with what they did with the second movie, but he's fully aware of the fact that, hey, I took this movie and made it $1 billion franchise, right? Like it's like 2 point something billion dollars between two movies, and he's about to do it again with the third movie. So I think that he feels, and I'm not gonna speak for him, but this is just my interpretation. I think that he feels proud of what he's accomplished, and I kudos to him, right? Kudos to him. Again, he was dealt a bad hand. He was dealt a terrible hand, and we can have our differences of opinion, but I'm never going to take away the fact that this man accomplished something amazing, and you know, he knows that. He he understands what that means. He understands the position that he's in, that there aren't a lot of black directors that are going to do what he did and have that opportunity to do it how he's doing it. So, I think that's why he chose to go back. I don't think he's off the original stuff is off the table. I think that he will, if he ever feels inspired to do it, he will. If you listen to my interview with him, I asked him, I was like, "Yo, when are you going to do a spinoff with the Native Americans or whatever with Sinners? You could do a prequel. There's a whole lot of material." And he was like, "Man, people are getting spoiled." In so many words. He's like, it's counterproductive. Like sometimes I just came from doing the Creed franchise, and I'm doing Black Panther franchise, and I got to do an original movie. He's gonna go back to the franchise. He's doing X-Files, like he might do an original thing if he's inspired to do it. Right. He was inspired because of his uncle. And that's what got him to do Sinners. So the question will be like, what will actually make him feel inspired to do something else later. We'll just have to wait and see. But at this point, I'm rooting for him. I'm not at that point where I don't like what you're doing, so I hate on you. And no, man, I'm still rooting for you. And I think that you can always have that tough love where it's kind of like, I might not agree with you, but damn it, I'm still going to back you up. I'm still going to push you. I'm going to push you and hope that you do this or do that, but I'm never going to be against you. Like, you already got a whole industry against you. What do you need me to be against you for? So I do think we can have that healthy balance, and I think that he will do more original stuff because he's a very creative guy. So I can only hope that he will give us that. All right, guys. That's all I got for today. Man, first stream of the new year. I told myself I was gonna make this under 3 hours. I'm at 2:57. I suck. All right, guys. I want to thank you so much for hold on. Here we go. We might go to the 3. King Chad again. I miss Chad and I send him letters. I also remember to be positive like Chad, and I hope I could talk to Ryan one day because I could save that day. Hey, that would be amazing. I hope you get a chance to talk to him too. I'm sure he would definitely enjoy it. And I think we all miss Chad. We definitely all miss Chad for sure. Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate you for that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. You guys know what to do. Have a wonderful, great weekend. I'll definitely hope to see you guys hopefully next week. But you know the routine, y'all. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. And until next time, see you guys later.